What's going on, everybody? It is Saturday. We talk to our special guest. You know how it is. We got the lovely BiorLabs in the house. I am so excited for this one, but let's get this introduction out of the way, you guys. For those who don't know, THORChain is the world's leading Bitcoin DEX. You can swap 13 different blockchains across 41 different pools without using bridges or wrapped tokens. Check it out at swap.thorchain.org, swap.thorchain.org. Anyone in the world can use THORChain. There's no account to open, no KYC required, and privacy is a human right. And the THORChain community does not endorse or condone any illicit activity whatsoever. THORChain has two tokens, Rune and TCY. The fees for swapping on THORChain are paid in Rune, and that's where the yield comes from. The fees are deducted from the swap, so you don't need to own Rune to trade on THORChain. The Rune token is also inflationary, as 5% of the revenue is burned. 10% of the protocol's revenue goes to TCY token holders. Remember, guys, to stake the TCY tokens in order to collect this yield. There are no block rewards on THORChain. The protocol's revenue is real money paid by real users. THORChain is more than just a DEX. It is a programmable layer 1 with the ability to create decentralized apps on it. This app layer is being developed by Rayyyk, and a lot of cool things are happening there, guys. Check it out. If you need help with THORChain in general, join the THORChain community Discord and Telegram group. Links for those are on thorchain.org. Please follow THORChain on Facebook and Instagram, and THORChain Contact, all one word, on TikTok. We need 1,000 followers to stream on those platforms. And always, guys, remember, this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute financial investment or legal advice. And with that out of the way, you guys, what's going on? My name is Denny. I go by Patriot Sounds Online, educate for THORChain, going on 6 years, having a great time. Kenton is traveling right now, and he's probably drinking some Metamucil because he's a very old man. He had a big time in Las Vegas, so he needs to rest. He's got that old blood in him. We understand. We like to take care of our geriatrics, so we wish Kenton well, and we'll see him next time. I got my main man here. What's going on? Can you introduce yourself for the audience? What do you do? What's going on, brother?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. My name is Asen. I'm the founder of BiorLabs, and I was actually about to ask, where's Kenton? Because I just realized it's just the two of us, right?
We went to BTC Las Vegas, and he is traveling today,
Yeah,
so
all
he
right.
could not make it. But he sends his regards. But I'm gonna take good care of you today, man. So
Yeah,
yeah. We had you on a couple months ago, I think it
yep.
was. And so so just give people an introduction. What is BiorLabs? What does it do? And then we're going to talk about what's going on in the latest, brother. So the floor is
Hell yeah.
yours.
Yeah, so BiorLabs is the name of our team. It's a group. We are working on multiple projects with the goal of allowing crypto to just be used for the way it was meant to be used. So, for instance, we're building one of our products, which is BiorVault. It's our mobile wallet. And the main goal here is to allow people to use crypto to its full extent. You can use it for DeFi, but also we want to make it so people can spend it. They can use it in their day-to-day lives. It's not just this thing they have and then they need to sell it in order to use it, because that goes like against the whole point of crypto, right? Um, and too many people are like, they're using crypto as like this separate ecosystem, this separate financial layer. We want to make it the main financial layer. You have your crypto and you directly spend from it, you save on it, you have everything on there. And honestly, it's just so much better. It's so much more practical. I mean, there are many arguments to be made about how it's so much more practical, but also um, when it comes to spending in many regions, you're also going to save a lot on taxes.
I love it, man. And I gotta say, dude, I am so excited for your product. I think about it all the time because I would definitely use this. Okay. There's still there's that friction between my crypto side and my, fiat side. And I would just love for you to bridge that gap, man. So, for those who don't know, I would talk a little bit more about Hassan you're THORChain. You are
Yep.
a big THORChain. You've been in the community for a long time. So those who just like, oh, who is this guy? I think 2021 you were around, right? Or maybe before
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I was there
Yeah.
2021. I was like 17 or something, and then I got in. Dude, I mean, it's only a couple of years, but like things changed so much. And back then, I remember I joined in and I was so hyped up. I was like one of the hype guys. I didn't know anything, but I was just hyped.
I was hyped too, bro, and I have gray hair now ever since then. It's been one
Yeah.
heck of a journey, but man, I gotta say, I think we're really doing well. We spent some time in Vegas, and I'm really excited to the day when we have a BiorLabs booth, man. I'm telling you, because
I
what you
can't wait.
guys are what you guys are doing is really something special. But okay, so let's start there, man. Let's see. You guys you have utility with crypto. You want people to use it, so let's define what that actually looks like. I'm a whale, or I'm a normal
Mhm,
person. I have crypto. How exactly can I use Bior Labs
mhm.
to do it in the way that you are describing?
Yeah. Are we talking about right now what is live or like what is coming? Because it's two different things, right?
Yeah. Okay. So just
Some
do
of our
what we
biggest
have
features
now.
are not live. What we
Yeah. No
have now.
worries.
Okay.
Yeah, but things are coming very soon, right? Like
Yep.
imminent. So just break it all down. Like it's all. It's no big
All right.
deal, man.
So for currently, right, if you do use our wallet for the time being, the main things we have live are, the simple crypto stuff like Wallet Connect, send, receive, swap. THORChain is live on BeerSwap. Sorry, on BeerVault. I'm saying BeerSwap. It's like another product we're building on BeerVault. THORChain
Go
is
ahead.
live, and we're currently using SwapKit. There is some talks about looking into the new THORChain aggregator, or they're interested in that. But yeah, for now we're using SwapKit, Swappers Live, Send Receive, and that's mainly it. But we have a couple of like really big features that are coming, and they're going to change a lot. I actually also have like some alpha about a partnership that's coming relating to one of our newest features. We can, I don't know, maybe you can write it down and then come to it later, but it's very interesting.
Real quick, do you know someone by Machala by chance? Machala, does that ring
Yeah,
a bell?
I do. That's one of our moderators, but I
Okay,
think he's just trying to join in to listen.
yep, I'll add him in right
Uh,
now. I just want. Oh, does he want? Oh, he just wants to listen.
Yeah, he
Oh,
just wants
okay.
to listen, so he can.
Hey, Co, can you get Machala the listen in link? That'd be awesome. Hey, Machala. I'm gonna hide you, brother. It's all right. That's funny. Okay. Cool, man. That's awesome. Okay, so let's talk about these new features that
Yep.
are coming. Or
Mhm.
go ahead, brother.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, I thought you were gonna say something. I'm waiting for it, but the new
Sorry.
features that are coming. We have the cards, we have the bill payment, we have a messaging system, and we have the referral system. Well, referral system. You know what? I'm gonna summarize this to just like marketing system and whatnot, because it's not only referral, it's also cashback. So cashback, referral, bill payment, messaging, and what was the other one? Bill payment, right? These are the four main features that are coming, and most of them are basically almost ready. It's like, I mean, back then, you would ask me how long is it going to take? A month or two. It's been how long since the last interview or the last live
Yeah,
stream?
yeah, it's been a few months, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically ready. I did want to come in today and say, oh, it's in testing. Unfortunately, it's not. However, we are very close, and let's dive into it. So we have the first feature, which is the cards. This is the one that most people are like so excited about. A lot of our current users, that's like the main thing. They keep telling me, "Hey, I'm literally just waiting on this." Like they're barely using the app; they just have it downloaded and they're waiting for the cards. So I want to get into it right away because last time I was here, I didn't have a lot of information because we had just switched providers because we wanted to have a provider that is more like that doesn't work too much in a gray area, and who is more of a established provider that's going to give us some you know clean services to provide. So we just did the switch and we didn't have all the information yet, but now we do. So without further ado, it's going to be two sections of the card. We're going to have the physical card and the digital card. The physical card is going to have its own KYC, like a normal debit card. All right. For the virtual card, this one is going to have a soft KYC because it's going to be like more of and you'll see why in a second. But by soft KYC, I just want to clarify what we mean. All right. So essentially, we're going to ask for a full name, address, email, phone number, and that's it. And of course, for the phone number, we're not going to be accepting VoIP, but that's basically it. Whatever you enter in full name, address, email, we're not going to ask for any ID to confirm the information. We're not going to ask for any identification to confirm anything. The only caveat is really like the phone number. We're going to ask for a real physical number. And that's really part of like being able to operate everywhere in this like not to be too much in a gray area, right? So I know it's like a lot of people, they initially, because our first product was supposed to be this entirely non-KYC thing, but as we've been growing and talking with a lot of potential partners, it looks like if we want to do something clean that works and that's going to stay long term, that's how we have to do it. Of course, in the future, we can add, like, we can do some partnership with Peterfill or some other like gift card provider and try to do these like smaller non KYC gift cards. But in a second, I'll get into like, you're going to see how this virtual card has so many features, and you're going to understand why we have to do the soft KYC. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the card, man, on the virtual card, the physical card, that is product market fit right there. Like
Yeah.
everyone with I really want that too. So
Mhm.
whoever you're talking to, you can +1 for me, bro. I'm telling you. So
Yeah.
yeah, I cannot wait. Like I'm so interested. Like can we just jump right into
Yeah.
that?
Let's
I
jump
want to
right
know.
into it.
Let's do it, man. I
All
love
right.
it. Let's go.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about the features, and then I'll see. Like, I'll talk about who I think the main target audience is. So
Go
for the
for it.
physical cards, we're gonna have some of the key features. You're gonna be able to withdraw with an ATM globally. Put an ATM, you can withdraw some cash. You're gonna be able to reload up to $100,000 at any times. And of course, if we have like some special customers who are like some rich whales, 100% we can do exceptions. Get in touch with us. We can even give special rates. It's very flexible. These cards are, like I said, they're basically um it's professional cards. Like, we have so much flexibility, and we even have the option to do like some cashback with holders, but this is for later. I don't want to get into it right now because there's a lot of legality that goes into it. It is something we're looking at, and it is something we can do with the new provider we're working with. User can have up to one user can have up to 3 cards with the physical cards. Um, and there's international spending. Wherever you go, you spend. So it's an international card. It's not like currently, depending on where you live, you have a debit card and then you go to another country, it may not work, or you need to contact your bank. These cards work internationally, and there's like a 2.2% foreign exchange fee. It's pretty low, very low, I'd say. And lastly, we have a small crypto top-up fee for specific chains. Like, for example, on Bitcoin lately, there's like very high fees. So for example, we're going to have a $2 surcharge if you use that chain specifically. This is just to cover us, to make sure we're not like paying out of pocket, especially when we first are going to start handing out the cards. We're not going to have a big reserve yet. So we want to make sure we have a clean vault, right? We don't want to uh, start spending on money that we don't have, right? Because the cards would be new anyways. For the fees, oh yeah, and just for the KYC, anyone who's actually curious, what is the KYC for those cards, the physical cards? Because they're basically it's a full fucking card, right? So we're allowed to swear, right? I just really cursed.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, bro. It's in the morning. We gotta wake up. We gotta get the blood
Yeah,
pumping,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so yeah, this is your thing, man. So go for it.
Yeah, all right. So for the KYC, specifically, it's going to be like normal KYC. You can provide either a passport, national ID, driver license, and whatnot. And for a proof of address, it can be like bank statement, credit card statement, utility bill, or a government issued letter. So it's like, basically, we're going to ask for 2 documents, and that's it. Um, Now for the fees, and this is where things get super, super interesting. Our fees are very, very, very low, and we're looking at our competitors. Some of them who use the same provider as us, they charge like some insane rates. All right. So first, for the physical card, it's going to be $12 just to acquire the card. It's going to be like a plastic card. And of course, the $12 is just to pay for the plastic card because it's plastic. We pay for it. There's a monthly maintenance. So you're going to spend like, let's say, $5 a month. And the card activation is free. We don't charge card activation. This is one of the things that, like, they told us you can add a card activation. I'm like, why? To make more money. We don't need to do that. That's fine.
Right.
And then we have the loading. Top up fee is only 2.2%, very low. Minimum load amount is $15. That's just to ensure, because we're charging such low fees, we need a good minimum amount to make sure we're not losing funds here. Because whenever you're loading on the card, mind you, we're taking your crypto, we need to off ramp it to fiat and then charge your card. So we have to charge here for the, let's say, for the off ramp, sort of.
Right.
Maximum load amount for the card is 100,000. up to 3 cards, so you're good to go. And then for the transaction, we have I have the flat list in front of me, by the way. If you see my eyes going up, my monitor is up there, right?
Yeah.
I'm not looking at a script. So
No worries, brother.
the per transaction fee, it's a 30-cent fee per transaction, a flat fee, a percentage fee of 0.2%, and max transaction amount 100,000. Max spend per day 100,000. So, and max transactions per day 25. So now I'm just reading from it. If you want like the full fee schedule, if you have more questions, just go on our website. It's BiorLabs.com. We have a full card section, and you can read like all the like the small details. But yeah, it's very small fees, very low amount of fees for the withdrawal with the ATM. It's gonna be let me just check. Yeah, $3 plus 1.2%. Very low, once again, for a crypto card. I'm very happy with what we can provide. I actually had a talk with them. Yeah, you can click on the physical debit card. This is the
Oh,
one I was talking about right now.
okay.
Yeah. And if you scroll down, there's the table. That's what I was talking about. Now I'm going to go into the virtual cards.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
Virtual cards.
So
Perfect.
um, for the virtual card, it's essentially instant access. You finish the soft KYC, it's immediately available on your device. Now, because it's a virtual card, we don't need to charge like any, let's say, card. Let's say, there's no fee for you to just acquire the card. There is a small fee of like $5 just to activate the card. It's written as card acquisition, but it's because you're purchasing funds into the card. So that's the fee that's there.
Right.
Monthly maintenance. So for the first 2 months, it's free. But the virtual card, after 2 months, you need to start paying $2.5 a month. Once again, very low amount. Also, for the virtual card, there's you can make an unlimited amount of cards. So there's that.
Oh,
So yeah, and the limit that's where you start to understand why it's such a big thing. The limit on this card is $10,000, and that's the max transaction amount. And the
okay.
daily, yeah, go ahead.
So you're paying, I'm sorry, how much you paying for the virtual card? And is that per card like after 2 months? Could you break that down
Yeah,
just a
sorry.
little bit
So you
more?
pay $5 when you create the card, the virtual
Yep.
card,
Okay.
and then you pay basically $2.5 per month after 2 months. So because the
Right.
virtual cards, right, they expire after 36 months because they're essentially a version of prepaid cards. Okay, so let's say you just made the virtual card. After 36 months, it's going to expire. For the first 2 months, it's free. We're not going to charge you anything. And you can just go ahead and make a new card if you want. Like people can just make a card, they spend on it for 2 months, and after 2 months, they make a new card. Doesn't matter. But after 2 months of the card, you can just pay a monthly fee of $2.5, and that's it. And the thing is, it's cheaper to pay the 2.5 fee per month than to keep acquiring new card unless you make multiple cards. Like for example, after 2 months, let's say you make 2 cards, right? After 2 months, instead of paying 2.5, which adds up to $5, you close both accounts, you can just open one new card. It's going to cost you $5. And then you have 2 free months. So you would technically be saving. But
Makes sense.
yeah, these are the fees for the card. It's pretty
Um,
low. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. So, okay, so I want to get one of these virtual cards.
Yeah.
I want to give it to someone as a gift.
Yeah.
Totally normal, will work just fine, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, perfect.
I mean,
What
look,
is?
it's the
Go
virtual
ahead.
card is literally just like the numbers on a card, and
Right.
it works with Apple and Google Pay. That's really the selling point on these virtual cards. It's that you add them to Apple Pay, you add them to Google Pay, PayPal, whatever you want, and you can just spend them anywhere. And it's like for a non KYC, like a soft KYC card, this is a pretty big deal because these are not like fake business cards. And I also I'm really happy because since our last meeting, I remember during the live, I was like a little bit subtle and I said, hey, careful. A lot of these providers who say we offer non KYC cards, they're just using business cards disguised as they're just selling them, and they're disguising them as debit cards. And I did a little bit talk about it, and ever since there has been like this guy on X who spoke about it, and he went viral for saying stop going to these cards, they're basically not legal or whatever. And it went very big, and I was like, dude, I'm talking about it. I should have made the thread. But you know yeah, so connecting back to what these cards, that's why we have these are like good cards. They are fully valid. And sorry, what was your question? I got like
Yeah, no, dude, you're doing great.
sidetracked.
No, you're good. You can essentially use these anywhere. If you go
Yeah.
to like,
Oh yeah,
because I
that's
live in
where
a
I was going. Yeah.
right, like I live in a very rural area, right?
Yeah.
That's like pretty sparsely populated. So you could go to a mom and pop shop and just give them the numbers. Worst case, they could punch the numbers in, everything, and it would work just
Yeah.
like any card,
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely. But
Yep.
yeah, I just remembered the point I was about to make
Go ahead.
because I got sidetracked. It's that a lot of these cards that are not even they just say no KYC, nothing. They don't work with Apple and Google Pay. And if they do, they can count their days. This is not the service that's going to survive very long. So these are valid cards that are going to work long term. You can rely on them. It's going to work with Apple Pay. It's going to work with Google Pay. And I think it's a great service. Um, and we can go through the list. I mean, I basically went over everything that's important because since it's a digital card, there aren't as many fees and stuff because these are cards that expire. So it's not like we don't charge too many different kinds of fee. Like, for example, there's not even ATM withdrawals on those cards for obvious
Hmm.
purposes. Um, but yeah,
Oh, I like. Okay, interesting. The domestic. Okay, so this is the domestic transaction fees in
yep,
my country, and then international. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, and so there's some prohibited countries right here. Maybe we should talk about that real quick.
yeah. I
Uh,
mean, look, if it was up to me, there wouldn't be prohibited
of
regions,
course.
right?
Oh, I totally get it. Yeah.
Dude, and it's like personally, like it really bothers me to some extent because it goes against the whole reason why I'm building this product. Like I
Right.
wanted to build this product so that anyone in the world can use it. And one of the selling points I always tell people about, and it's really not necessarily selling point, it's just the core philosophy. Sorry, it's that, and we've seen it lately. And I really don't want to get political, but so just like stick with me here for a second.
Yeah, brother.
Um, Crypto is so useful to war-torn countries and to also anyone who is in a country that is under tyrannical governments. And I want to expand on both of these. If we talk about war-torn countries, and once again, I don't care what your political affiliation is, both Russia and Ukraine were benefiting from crypto for different reasons. The
Yes.
Russian citizens were benefiting from crypto because of a couple of things. Number one, the West and the EU blocked all of their money that was so basically any Russian that had money in foreign accounts that was not in
Hmm.
Russia was just frozen and stolen by NATO. I didn't keep track of it or what happened, but as far as I know, they never gave the money back. And for that time, a lot of the Russians started just using crypto because also of the sanctions. And this goes without saying, any country that has a lot of sanctions on them, they rely on crypto. And, this is very controversial because a lot of people were like, well, they have these sanctions on them for a reason or whatever. But look, I don't think that the citizen, someone who's born in a country, should be like, I am born somewhere, it has nothing to do with me. And growing up, I have so many limited opportunities because my country has all these sanctions on me. But, these sanctions, they still damage the government's ability to operate. But for the citizen, crypto is like this escape route that allows them to connect to the world and to secure a future for themselves. Right. So, oh yeah, and going also to the other example, because I spoke about Russia, I want to speak about the other side, also Ukraine. People maybe don't know this, but Ukraine, when the war first started out, most of their donations came in crypto because
Right.
the banking infrastructure was down, nothing was working, they were getting bombed, they couldn't do anything, and the best like they couldn't move money. You can't move gold, so how do they hold currency or value? Bitcoin. They were getting Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is on your phone. They don't need like a big reserve or like some secret location to hold all the Bitcoin. They just set up an account in 10 minutes and they were receiving millions in donations. And once again, I don't care if you support whichever side in the war, if you even support the war, you don't support the war. I'm personally anti-war. It doesn't matter. The point here is crypto has shown that it is a true alternative to one, any financial restrictions imposed on countries for good or bad reasons. And number two, it is a real escape for any country that has limited financial opportunities. And we can look at Venezuela, which is one of the countries we have restricted. And it really bothers me because I wanted to offer these services to Venezuela and to other countries that are in there. Um, But yeah, it's unfortunate. In the future, once we are bigger and we have more money, we're going to be stronger. We're going to have more power. We're going to have
Yes.
the ability to deliver on what we want to build. But for now, we're the small guy on the block and we have to follow the rules. We have
I
to keep our head down and just get going, right?
I think that's going to change because, to your point exactly, the issue is we have weaponized fiat currency, right? And so the value proposition of crypto and the product that you offer has never been more clear. You're
Yeah.
just a person in Russia. You're just trying to make it. You know what I mean? You maybe you even hate the own government. Maybe you side with West, or it doesn't even matter. But you're just an average, everyday
Yeah.
person that's just trying to survive, right? And then to have sanctions to blanket attack everybody in a nation is just absolutely ludicrous. All
Yeah.
right, this is absurd. So, the weaponization of the current monetary doctrine that we all live
Yeah.
under is the perfect layup for you and your company because you are giving people the ability to survive. Right
Yeah.
now, obviously, these services are can't be used in certain places, but you know that's what you're doing. You're empower like that's the core ethos of THORChain, right? Like
Yeah.
powering the unbanked. That's
Yeah.
what you're doing. You're giving
Mhm.
someone THORChain gives the ability to swap, which you obviously provide swaps as well on the back end. But you're also letting giving people utility with that crypto. Like this is where everything well, this is where the rubber meets the road, my friend. Like this is
Absolutely.
fantastic. Yes.
And
Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say like, and it's not only like these specific countries we named. I mean, there's a whole. If you just go in our prohibited region, that's basically a whole list of countries that would need our services, but we can't offer it to them because we're not there yet. We're not big enough to be able to challenge the current regulations or try to do some smart legal work to go around it. But what I really wanted to add on top of it, if is that these cards are not only for people who need them specifically because they're in a war-torn country or because of a tyrannical government that has horrible inflation rules or horrible, let's say, the government just doesn't take care of their citizens, and the fiat currency is no longer a uh, viable option. Also, these services, and this is something from experience I can tell you about. This is a target audience that a lot of people who work in our line of in like the line of service we are in, they never notice it, but like this is who we work with every day. And I'll tell you, it's the people who work in crypto. All the crypto employees, people who work with crypto companies, a lot of them can receive payment in crypto or would receive payment in crypto because they don't have to use Wise. They don't have to use, what's the name of that other very big platform for like foreign, I forgot the name. Um,
Yeah, it's slipping me right
Man,
now.
I really want to remember because I have family in many different countries who use it, and I tell them, why don't you use crypto? I'm like, I don't know how, and they lose. Hold on, I really want to get the name. Just give me a second. I'm gonna go on my phone here. No, no, not Revolut. It's a application that is specifically made for sending money from one country to another, and it's not crypto related.
Yeah. Well, while you look that up, guys, definitely please follow
I have it.
BiorLabs on X. Oh, go ahead. What you got, man?
Western Union, right?
Well, Western Union. There you
Yeah.
go. I should have known that. I'm a
Dude,
little embarrassed right now.
yeah, same. I mean, it's like the biggest name out there, and we forgot their name, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Shoot.
okay, so Western Union, dude, they charge like, I mean, they've been lowering their fees lately, and by lately
Yeah,
I
they
mean
have to.
they have to, right? But ever since crypto got big, they lowered their fees so much. I swear, back then
Interesting.
they used to charge
Yeah.
like an arm and a leg in fees. Now it's like $20. Even then, why are you charging $20? You don't need to
Yeah.
settle your transactions on the Ethereum blockchain. What is the $20 for, right? And even on ETH, by the way, people think that on ETH they have high fees there, and there are two things to say here. As someone who, I mean, I'm mainly on Ethereum. There are two things to say here. Number one, the fees have been very low, and even when, I mean, the developers really fixed the fees issue to some extent. Like even in high network usage, the fees don't spike as much as they used to be. And I'm the one, I spent so much on fees. If you look at my, like I have this app that tracks how much fees I spent across my lifetime. I think I'm at like $6,000, $7,000. Okay. So I spent a lot on ETH fees. So I know that the Ethereum fees used to be so high and you would pay $300. Now it's like, it's never reaching that. Even if we get a lot of usage, that's number one. And number two, this is one thing a lot of people don't know. When you're just sending Ethereum, even when the fees are like very, very high, when you're just doing a send transaction, you barely pay any fees. The fees are usually for like these DeFi smart contracts. That's when you pay the big fees. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to say that a lot of people don't know that for some reason, but
Well, I think it's because, here's the thing is a lot of these TradFi, who once had more or less a monopoly on the market, they're seeing the winds change, right? They're like,
yeah,
okay, we need to say this. So, because they know if they keep these fees high, they're just gonna push people to look for alternatives.
yep,
And this is where I'm so excited with your product, man, because this is such for me that like my brain loves this. It's just so obvious because I immediately could see myself using this as well. In fact, I
hmm,
totally intend on using this because there's just that gap. There's just so much friction when it comes to, going from crypto
hmm,
to centralized exchange. When the centralized exchange approves the crypto, then you
yeah,
go on the centralized exchange, then you
yeah,
sell the crypto,
yeah,
then you make the withdrawal
yeah,
request, and then you have to wait until it happens then. And then finally you can do something with your money. Maybe you use like an American thing like Zelle or something else, but there's just like a billion steps in all this to
yeah,
have a one product, fits all approach where you just got your crypto on there and boom, 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 you make a gift card, right? That you
yeah,
can use
and
or you can
mind
give to
you,
a friend. Boom, done,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, and mind you, you named like how many steps, 3 or 4. On each step, you're gonna pay fees, right?
Yes.
And replace that by the fee we charge. It's not even comparable. I mean, it's such a great alternative. But also, I just remembered I didn't even finish the target audience I was talking about. The new target audience that people don't know exist is like, yeah, people use Western Union or Wise to receive payments. But anyways, I was saying a lot of these workers who work in crypto, it can be developer or maybe designer, because a lot of designers who work with crypto companies, they don't even use crypto a lot. Okay. But they do receive crypto as payment, but they don't understand how crypto works. And I know about this because I worked with a lot of designers in crypto. I worked with a lot of some, not developers. Developers usually know how it works, but regardless, these are people who their salary is in crypto. So it's not like, oh, they want to hold crypto. No, for them, they need to sell it so that they can pay their bills. It's not because they don't believe in crypto, but they need to sell to pay their bills. It's their revenue, right? So for them, whenever you pay them, it's like, hey, thank you, but I need to spend it. So they're usually going to receive on a centralized exchange. They're going to pay a fee and they're going to sell it to their bank, to their home currency, which is usually very bad because a lot of these people who operate in that way are in like some foreign countries. And then they will need to pay their last fee whenever they spend. So this is also a product for them, for all the crypto employees. If you're a crypto employee, you're someone who works in crypto and you're like, hey, I'm tired of like I receive my payment in crypto, I have to offer ramp every time. You eventually, what's going to happen is you're going to make an account with us. You're going to be able to simply receive your crypto in stable coins, and then you're going to be able to put it on the card, spend it whenever. And if you have bill payments to do, you enter the bill pay information, you pay it. This is the other one we didn't talk about, the bill payment. I talked about it last time, but it's such a good service that a lot of people, a lot of some of our competitors, they completely ignore. And I think it has such a big um, value proposition. I would say it is, to me personally, the bill payment is more important than the debit card, but I know it's not for everyone. But for me, I think it's bigger than the debit card.
Let's talk about it then. That's really so basically I'm a person, I have a lot of bills and
Mhm.
paying bills is obviously a very headache with me. I have to stay
Yeah.
in fiat land to do that. So basically is BiorLabs going to allow me to basically have automatic, like I can just pay my bills right from the app, like add,
Mhm.
recipients and then send them money. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so for the automatic, it is actually I totally forgot to look into that if you can do automatic payments. I just realized I was supposed to look at it. I didn't, but the main point selling point here is not even the fact that you can pay necessarily your car your let's say electricity bill or whatever. You think, "Oh, it's bill payment, so it's for paying your electricity bill or whatever." That's the selling proposition. It's not. The real selling proposition, and I spoke about it briefly in our last live stream, is that you can have a credit card account with your bank, and whenever you need to close the credit card, you pay your bill with crypto. Because and this is the real like selling point here, that because in crypto it's impossible to have a real credit card, right? Why? Because credit cards need law enforcement. That's just the way it is. That's the way of life. If you have a credit card provider, you need law enforcement. Why? Because if someone just takes credit and doesn't pay the money back, they basically just stole money from you. You need law enforcement. You need some type of let's say, way to enforce people to pay you back because it's a
Right.
credit line. Okay. So, and for that reason, also, I don't think we're ever necessarily going to offer credit cards directly. We might partner in the future with some credit card provider, but for the time being, it's not even on our list. But the point I'm making here is you can literally have everything on BiorVault, right? Everything works there. And this is my setup right now. You have this, then you have a bank account, one bank account with, I don't know, credit cards. You don't even need a normal checking card. You just need a credit card. And with this credit card, you can do all your spending, everything. And anytime it's time to pay the bill, you just pay the bill. You enter the pay information in our app, pay the bill, boom, it's closed. The credit card is closed. And number one, you never had to directly even spend. So if you're like, hey, I don't like your cards, you don't need to use our cards. You can make your own card with with like your favorite bank, if that's a thing, and then you pay the bill and close it. And you know that's really the value proposition here that a lot of people, I think, completely ignored, especially some of the like the centralized exchanges where like we're offering cards. I really think a lot of them like they skipped over how useful this can be.
Well, okay, so I love that, man. That's awesome. One question I had about the cards, because I'm remembering our previous conversation. From what I remember, is if you're in the European region, you know,
Yeah.
Euro, EU, sorry, Euro, what is that? There's like a $10,000 limit. In America, it's a $1,000 limit. Is
Okay.
that still the same, or is
No,
there
this is the
different now?
old cards. This is the old cards.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right,
the new cars, because our old provider, let me just say, when we got into, we were building this product, and I am a first-time founder, we were meeting constantly with, we were meeting constantly with new providers, okay? And every one of them would give us an offer. This is the fees, etc. And we were not familiar yet with how it all worked. And when these guys came in, they offered us like the lowest fees ever. No KYC. Don't worry about it. As long as you don't like market it directly, it's fine. And we thought it's like gray area, but hey, look, it's a valid product. But then we learned because I had a meeting with those guys actually that we're working with now, and I had a meeting with others, and they told me when I spoke to them about the non KYC product, they explained to me and they told me how it worked, and they said look into it on your own. And I'm telling you, you should use our service instead. They were trying to sell me on their service for our app, and I did the research, and they were right. And that's when we decided to just switch products, and that's why they had all of these different restrictions. Meanwhile, right now on this new product, we have essentially, it's the same fees internationally. We don't have like, oh, if you're in Europe, it's different restrictions because if you KYC, you KYC, it's over. You can do whatever you want. For the virtual cards, it's either we're allowed or we're not allowed to provide the service to you. If we're not allowed, we're not going to try to game the system and get in legal trouble. It is what it is. You're on the region restricted. But for now, Europe is open, USA is open, and yeah, it's just it's a different service.
awesome. Okay, and you can do up to $10,000 on the reloadable card anywhere. Is my understanding correct?
Yeah, so
Or
the max transaction amount is 10,000, all right? The
okay.
daily max spend is 50,000 and the monthly max spend is 400,000. So they have very
That
high limits.
Oh, geez. Okay. So that's the physical card and the virtual
No,
card,
that is the
or
virtual card
oh
with soft
wow,
KYC. But yeah, I told you
that's
this is why
great.
it's great, right? But this is why we have a
Yeah.
soft KYC because the limits are very high and there's a lot of
Right.
features. So we have to enforce some sort of soft KYC. Um, Yeah, for the physical cards, it's actually lower. The max spend per day is 100,000.
Wow, that's really cool. So, okay, this is great. That is a heck of an upgrade, man, because,
Yeah,
here's the thing is like there's a these cards, inflation and things like this, that's for me, that's not like a super crazy amount of money. I think a lot of people could need to spend that much money with a card, right? Just
yeah,
because everything is so freaking expensive now. So, dude,
yeah,
that's a huge level up for you guys. Like
it
that's a
is.
lot of utility. That's a lot of whales. Cause I think beforehand a lot of whales are thinking like, okay, this is cool, but man, it's $1,000 a time. That's
Yeah.
that's slow for what I need. If you just
I'm
you
gonna
check that
stay
up
all
times,
day to buy to buy like my new watch or whatever.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It's like, okay,
Free
put
card.
this one. No, that's awesome, man. I
Yeah.
think that is really, really cool. So I love it. I am so excited. So I knew you were thinking, this was going to be out soon, but like this is something that's coming out imminently, right?
Yes, 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 yes. So,
Very cool. So alpha
I
guys, alpha. Go ahead, buddy.
yes, yeah, I want to say like if you're really interested in that feature, look, you can follow us on X, join the Telegram group, or just download the app. Because, well, if you download the app, it's going to let us know there's demand for a product. It's going to help us continue to fundraise, keep the project going. So even if the product is not live, if you're interested, head to the App Store, Google Play Store, download the app. It's going to pump our numbers and it's going to tell our investors and the people we are talking with that there is interest, and it's going to help us in building this service. So this is number one. This is like honestly the best way to support us. Just download the app. You don't even need to use it. Download it, open it, make the wallet. It's going to show up in our KPIs, and this is like numbers that we can sell. This is number one. Number two, really to join any of our social channels, anyone, it doesn't matter. You can just join I'd recommend either Telegram or Twitter, because on Discord, it's a less active, but Telegram or X, you join us, and we always share all the news there. So as soon as the cards are live, you're going to hear about it. So that's one of the two places you should be at. And we're probably going to do some sort of giveaways. Like I'm thinking of doing a premium card giveaway where we're going to do like physical platinum cards or physical metal cards for some, like as a giveaway when we first go out. So this is, if this is something you're interested in, we're probably also going to have like some special discount fees on those cards. So and it's going to be the physical cards. So you're going to have to do like the KYC and whatever, not with us directly, but in the app, you do the KYC once you receive the card to activate it. We will never know who you really are. Um, but
Yes.
yeah, so just like that's something that gets you going, man. Get in the Telegram or just follow us on X.
Yes, and I want to make sure I give everyone a clear pathway here for those who may be listening. It's at BiorLabs, BiorLabs, at BiorLabs. They have the link tree right on their X account, and if you click that, it gives you these options right here. You have Google Pay, App Store. You have the APK
Yes,
file.
yes.
Maybe let's talk about the APK file. What's that about?
Yeah, so actually, this is something that it's because I have a friend, and okay, so anyone who uses Android, you know that your phone is basically Google. All right, it's Google. Google is everywhere, and
Right?
there's Google Play Store. It's called the Google Play Store on Android. And a lot of people, they don't like Google. They're into privacy stuff, and they have a de-Googled phone, meaning they don't have the Google Play Store.
Mm-hmm.
Now, an APK file, for those that are not like too familiar with what it is, it's basically the same file that I would upload on Google Play Store, and Google Play Store would then allow you to download it from their interface. This same file, I would just upload it on the website, and you click on it and you can download it. So it's the same thing, right? A lot of people think the APK file is like a cheaper version, or it's like this unsecure thing. The APK file we have on the website is the same one we upload to Google Play Store. So it's really the same product. All right. There's like no differences whatsoever. There's no limitations in any ways. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, why is it even a thing? Because number one, I'm a very big advocate for privacy. Last time we were here, I think we spoke about Monero a while. I love Monero.
Yes.
I want to support Monero on BiorVault eventually. Right now, we're still like developing the product, and Monero is going to take some time to integrate. So I sort of put it aside because, we're a business. We need to make money. We need to survive. And unfortunately, for the time being, integrating Monero is not going to give us that runaway that we need to keep going. So we're putting it off for later. Going back to the main topic, privacy. We love privacy. Anyone who loves privacy, we want to offer our services to them. So if you don't like Google, you're de-Googled, you can still download our app. Now, I know our app is still not optimized to remove all the trackers, or to route to like there's like some, and I'm not too familiar with what it is, but like I have a checklist of all the things I need to do to make our app like privacy friendly with the Monero users, because Monero users have very high standard for what they consider to be a good wallet. And for them, it has nothing to do with the interface or how easy it is to use. They don't care about that. For them, it's all about, am I anonymous? So we're going to work to make the app eventually, by then when we have Monero, we're going to upgrade it. I'm getting sidetracked. Man, I need to stay on the topic. The APK file, you download it on the website. Currently, you actually just reminded me, I need to remove it from the link tree because we upgraded the website. Now you can download the APK file directly from the website.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
I had a quick question, just so because no, I'm glad you brought up the Monero because, as you know, Monero is coming to THORChain pretty
Yes.
soon, and this is something that's very powerful. So, some people may be wondering, with the soft KYC, it's just a phone number. When you upload crypto to the card, or however you say it, sorry,
Yeah.
is the address going to be in any way saved on BiorLabs which would connect the relationship to the gift card, if that makes
Yeah.
sense?
So
You
let
guys
me
sort of,
clarify things here, right?
yeah,
We don't collect data for many
okay,
reasons, but also for legal reasons, by the way, because since we don't collect data, like there are basically so many laws that don't apply to us. So this is really good for us that we don't collect data in many way, and it's also a feature. We tell people we don't collect data. The only data we collect is like you do a transaction, we're gonna save the transaction hash, and it's just gonna go in our history of transactions that go through our app. So we don't even say it's this IP or whatever. It's just, on Etherscan, your link on Etherscan, we take it and we just save it. And we're like, hey, this is a transaction that we did. And this just allows us to count our volume so that we know if the marketing is good, if it's bad, and so on. Anyways, that aside, our provider, the card provider, I did talk to him and he tells us they have full logs. So if you do a transaction, they have full logs. If you do, like the purchase, they save everything, and that's because from their side they're required to do so legally. But from our side, we don't. But the thing is, they're also very privacy savvy. These guys, they're also like in the crypto sphere, they are very big advocates of privacy. They're big advocates of the crypto philosophy. So unless there's like a subpoena or whatever, they're probably not going to share the information. As a matter of fact, I mean, I don't want to share too much about them, but our provider is currently in like some sort of $1 million lawsuit with the government defending a lot of things about crypto, and they're winning. So it's really good. That's one of the reasons I like working with them. They're true believers in what we're building.
love it. I love it. I have a question now, another question on card. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
the virtual card, people will be given this as gifts, right? Someone in my family will be turning 16 soon. And this is something that I could foresee myself giving them as a birthday
Yeah.
gift, give them a little money in a virtual card. For someone who receives the virtual card as a gift, and they make some transactions on it, blah, 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 blah. Do they need to download the BiorLabs app to check the remaining balance on the card? How do they do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So if it's the virtual card, I mean, they could honestly, this is like a really good. I did not think of that. I need to write this down, but I'm gonna give you the answer that I have with the information that I have. But I do need to look into it. So, essentially, hold on here. I'm gonna write it down. Uh,
And this is why we do this, man. Sometimes we find like little nuances and edge
yeah, this
cases,
is a
buddy.
really good edge case.
That's what it's all about, dude. Absolutely. I want your
Yeah,
product to be dynamite, man.
yeah, yeah. I'm honestly impressed. Like this is such a good edge case. I do not think about it, and I think about all the edge cases. All right. So for the gift card, so the way it would work, because it works with Apple and Google Pay. Um, I am assuming that you could check the balance on on Apple Pay or Google Pay. However, other than that, the only way to check the balance would be to use our app. So they might need to download the app. And the thing also about using it as a gift is that currently the way we're building it is that the card would be tied to your wallet. So like if you're buying them a card, you might want to like buying it as a gift, you might want to make a new wallet and then create a card with that new wallet. That way you can just give them the seed phrase and that way they have access to the card directly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I
Right. Because
understand.
we don't store any information, right? Like we don't have login information. Give us your email and password. It's all with your seed phrase and with your what's it called? Sorry, with your wallet address, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, really cool.
But this is
Uh,
something I did not. I really want to. I'm actually going to look into how we can add it. We can optimize it because I realize now it's not very optimized for gift giving. So, uh,
Yeah, well, we had someone who said on the stream here, maybe URL link just to see the balance. Maybe there was some sort of like, I don't know if it'd be like a form of a block explorer or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, that would be good.
yeah,
Just so, because
that's good.
that's what people do. Because whenever you get a gift card, there's a number on the back. Like for like, let's just make a random example, McDonald's. Like, well,
Yeah,
how much money do I have on this card? And they call the
yeah,
number and
yeah.
it
That's
tells
true.
them, right? So I think if you just add that, dude, that would just be pretty dynamite.
Yeah, that's really good. I'm actually going to talk to her. I'm probably going to meet with our provider after this to discuss some of the things we went over. Specifically, this one I think is a very interesting one.
Yeah. I mean, because that's for me, that's my main use case, right? Because I love giving gifts, but
Yeah,
if I can finally, for the first time, well, not the first time, but finally, friggin'
yeah,
do it with my other side of my financial life, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like that is, I'll just do that, man. I would
yeah.
love to do that
And
instead of,
also, I don't know if you ever noticed, but like spending crypto doesn't feel like spending. Whenever you
no,
buy
it doesn't.
something with crypto, you're like, oh, it's free.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love that so much. And this is a cool thing, man, is like once you do that, if you can make all this intuitive, BiorLabs, of course, is going to get more adoption, but this is really like how network effects for the
Yeah,
blockchain industry in general. Like this is where real utility comes in. And this is how you on-ramp people is because they're actually friggin' using it. And
yeah,
it's something like this. Well, how do I check? Well, here's your seed phrase. Well, what's that? Right. And then so it's funny, someone like you, the first time founder, you're really making a model which is going to bring a ton of people in this industry just in general,
yeah.
and that's really, really cool, man. Really
Yeah,
cool.
it's fine because a lot of the features we're working on, it's tough because I used to work with a lot of other projects and I would go in so many and volunteer. I would volunteer to work with many wallet projects and I would give them so much feedback. Add this feature, add this feature. They wouldn't listen to me or like they'd just be like, oh, yeah, whatever. And they'd never do it. And it's like at some point, I know the ideas I was giving them were good. So now I'm making my own app and adding those features and I see there is demand for it. So it's really cool to see that. But I actually wanted to go back a little bit and ask you a question about
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
Monero integration with THORChain because you're a little more familiar with that side. I'm curious, is the integration with THORChain and Monero, like the Monero integration in THORChain, um, like is THORChain going to use any of the stuff Sarai Dex has built? Because I know like the Sarai Dex
Yes.
founder did so much work for Monero. He actually is like apparently like this really, really good developer. I'm sure he
Genius.
is. He built, yeah, I was gonna say genius, but he's really, really good from what I can tell. And yeah, like he's done some impressive work on the cross-chain side of it. And I'm wondering, like, is Thorchain gonna use Sarai Dex tech? Is Sarai Dex still coming? Do you know like any of the background stuff? Is it gonna be like a friendly cooperation with them, or is it just oh we're working separately?
Well, okay, so Rayyyk is definitely coming. I'm definitely not an expert. I saw a post on Luke Parker. This is the person we're talking about for
Yeah,
those who don't know.
Luke.
He's a brilliant dev. Rayyyk is coming soon, and I do wish them the best. They are a competitor. They would be, but honestly, the market. Like, here's the thing: our competitors, how I think of it, are centralized exchanges, and I'm
Yeah.
so unbelievably excited as
Oh
a
yeah.
Thorchain person to see Rayyyk come online. It's been a long time coming. I want to be absolutely clear. The reason why THORChain is adding Monero is because of Luke Parker's work. He open sourced his Frost threshold signature schemes,
Hmm.
which a community member, Boone, looked at, and he used some AI tooling, and he spent months of hard work on this. He got it to talk with Thornode, buddy.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
interesting.
that's why it's coming online. Is because Luke Parker open sourced his work, and our own community figured it
Mhm.
out. So there's no like. I would love there to be collaboration between Soridex and Thorchain, but there's no official
Yeah.
collaboration. But because of the Frost implementation is so good, it's coming very, very soon. Like it's going to be on
Mhm.
ChainNet probably within a week, maybe
Yeah, and
two.
one thing I want to say about like crypto that I really really like is when you have like these different projects that are building the same services, it's like sometimes it gets like very competitive, but usually that's on the interface level. And if you've ever noticed, like when it's in crypto and there's like competition, it's usually between interfaces. It's never between protocol. Sorry. And for those who don't know too much of the distinction, the protocols are basically what they're the rails of what makes everything work. The interface, they're just the marketing guys who get people to download their app. Like for us, we're an interface, right? That's where there is competition. But on the back end of it, on the protocol level, it's not competition because they're all building together to compete with the traditional financial system. And I see this here, for example, with the Monero thing. I mean, Thorchain would have Monero, Seradex would have Monero. That's good because we're going to have the more
Yes.
services we have, the better. This is better for the ecosystem as a whole. And you see this also with like, I mean, I really don't want to encourage, let's say, how do I want to call it? Um, like the Pirate Bay, for example, or these, I'm trying to find the correct word here.
You
Uh,
don't want to be used to be presented in a way that
no,
allows
sorry,
people to
no,
do
that's not
illicit
what I meant. I'm
things.
trying to make
Oh,
another
okay, sorry.
point. Okay, so there's these, I'm trying to find, what is the word, man? When people, for example, they have this app that allows them to get, for example, free movies, or like these services that offer you all the free books in the
Oh,
world. Um,
like a
like
LimeWire or some.
torrents,
I'm
like
showing. Yeah, I
torrents.
pay torrent. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
I'm
like
showing my age there a
they
little
have
bit.
a
Yeah.
name. We call them like these cracking services, or sorry, I forgot the name, man. There's like
I
this
can't
specific
forget
word I'm
too.
looking
Sorry.
for. Yeah. Anyways, the point I'm making here is when one of these services, let's say that come in and they offer you, for example, Zip Library is one of the biggest one. They offer you all the books in the world for free. And you can argue whether or not this is like a good service, bad service, whatever your point to
Yes.
make. That's not what I'm talking about here. What if they go down, the service goes down, when there's all these other sort of competitors that offer the same service around, they're here. They allow Zip Library to be more persistent and to stay alive better, because even if when they're temporarily taken down, the market still exists and they can make a comeback. Someone else can take the work and keep it going. And this is really good for the ecosystem. And this is why when we have something like THORChain and Seradex both building the same thing, like Monero Swap, which we know is going to be very controversial, and we know government and regulators are going to come after it, it is very important that we have different and multiple protocols working on it and offering that same service in order to ensure the survival of the feature and the survival of the product that is being offered, or the service that is being
Abs
offered.
absolutely. And I say this a lot, and I'm really glad you brought this up, man, because here's THORChain's thing. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm still getting a little sick, so sorry if I make noises here and then. But the Monero integration, we're very excited for it. Yes, THORChain wants to be very successful. THORChain wants to be the best, but our mandate is to help liberate the world in a similar way that BiorLabs wants to give utility to people to empower them in very hard, they live in very difficult situations. I am so unbelievably excited for there to be two options, and maybe even three. My protocol will add to my protocol as well. The more options for Nero, the better, right? And if
Mhm.
if Seradex were ever to come under scrutiny, you can count on me and the vast majority of the THORChain community to come to a very vicious and determined defense of Seradex, because we're in this together, right?
Yeah,
Like, this is our mandate. We're here. We're here to make a fair and economic doctrine for all, man. And so you're 100% correct. And I'm really glad that you gave me an ability to really describe, why the Monero is coming to THORChain. How is that possible? And again, it is thanks to Luke Parker, who open sourced his code, which is
yeah,
so great of him to do. He did not have to do that, and he did it. So I always want to make sure I throw flowers at that, guys, because that was
yeah,
freaking awesome, man. So I 100% agree with you. Well said, sir. Well
yeah.
said.
And I do want to take this. Did I just forget what I was gonna say? um, it's fine. We made the points.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad. I do have someone had some question for you, because you did say you are, like, this is your first time founder, you know what I
Yep.
mean? You're doing a great job, man. They would like to know, it would be interesting to hear some of the first time founder stories.
Oh
What are your
man.
some tips, recommendations? I know you're still technically going through it,
Yeah.
but yeah, maybe I'll give you the floor there, because a lot of people
Yeah.
are impressed that you're doing this, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
the main thing is that talking about like being a first time founder when you are still a first time founder can be problematic because it can cause some doubts. Like, for example, if I start talking about some of the mistakes we made, people will look at it and be like, this is that like
Hey,
let's
no,
say a credible founder.
dude,
But
bro, let me
yeah.
tell you. Let me tell you. Mistakes are part of the process, right? Like, look at
Yeah.
THORChain. We've been kicking ourselves in the balls sometimes
Oh
for
yeah.
years. You know what I mean? We're a first-time founder of cross-chain swaps. It's taken us almost 6 years to get to where we're at. It's really, really hard, man.
Yeah.
It is it's not so much the mistakes, it's the persistence, right? It's that tenacity to take it on
Yeah.
first off, and it's persistence, man.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to throw at you is, like, you're not a guy who's just going to give up. Like, I say something like, hey, how is someone going to check the balance on a gift card? It's like, oh, I'm going to write that
Yeah.
down right now.
Yeah.
That's what it takes, bro. That's what
Yeah,
it
all right.
takes.
Look, I'll get into it. There's three core items, right? Number one is the development. There's a lot there to know. Number two is the marketing, and number three is going to be the scams. All right, these are the three things as a first-time founder you need to look out for. For the development side, um, like there is a real ratio with how much you spend on the developers and the quality of code you're going to get. Now, today with AI, this is very different because you can get a mid-level developer and you can get them a Claude Max subscription. And if they're smart, they can make it work. And I really mean this, if they're smart, because some developers and, you know, hopefully I'm not offending anyone who's listening, but some developers, they're even going to be almost senior devs, but they're I'm sorry to say they're just not they don't have that I don't want to say intelligence. I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence. They just I don't know what it is. They just don't have that little thing that allows them to work with AI and utilize it to its full potential. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't know how to use AI properly. And I really think it comes down to properly understanding because I'm not even a developer, by the way. And I've been working with AI. I actually built the website on my own. I deleted the old website because it was so like badly optimized because we hired some very cheap dev to do it. And anyone who like the old website was like honestly embarrassing. And whenever someone would be like, "What's your website?" I'd be like, "Here's the link." Here's the link. Well, I
It's in
wasn't too
beta.
happy.
It's in beta. Please
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
judge. And then you're like furiously trying to
yeah. But
redo
even when the
it.
app was live, the website was a little embarrassing, and we couldn't afford to have our developers work on it because we're still working on the cards, and we have 3 developers, and they need to work on the app. But with AI, I was able to rework the whole website, and I was able to add some real features in the app. So, for example, the APK file thing, like the APK can be downloadable from the website, and it's safe, it's secure. Another thing that's really cool, and that's one of the things I'm like sort of proud of myself because I built on my own, is that if you scroll to the bottom of the website and try to like contact us, instead of having to go to a Google Forms, you can click on it and it's going to be a pop-up inside the website and send the stuff. Now it
Yeah.
is currently down because sort of upgrading it, but I built the whole thing on my own, and then we had to close it for some backend stuff, but we're going to reopen it. But yeah, so like AI is really impressive. And the thing I'm really trying to make the point about here is, for example, for me, I'm not a developer, but because I understand really well the fundamentals of how things are built, like I understand backend, front end, I understand, um, for example, the way servers are handled, the way data is handled, all these different things. I can tell the AI what to do. Like, for example, the AI is trying to solve a problem, and I really wish I had a good example because there's a meaningful lesson here. Like for example, the AI is trying to solve an issue, and they're like, there's a bug, right? And the AI is not solving it. And then I come to it and I'm like, hey, why not instead of doing this solution? I wish I had an example, man. Like instead of okay, let's say for example the video, right? I'm gonna give an example, and it's maybe not even gonna be accurate because I don't even have the correct information. This is just an example in
Hmm.
a parallel universe where I'm right. Okay, so you have the website. Okay, let's say your website is slow on loading, right? And let's say it's because you have a video that plays inside of it. Okay, and I'm going to tell the AI, hey, what if, and the AI is trying to solve it. And he's like, hey, I'm like using this different route. I'm taking, for example, the video from this, I'm streaming it from this side and it's not working. And I have it directly on the website. It's not working. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to tell it like, hey, why don't we try instead of having, let's say the video directly on the website and load from it, we can have it on some third party server, and then we bring it from there, and then the website loads without of it and the video would load in separately. Maybe this is completely wrong, right? I'm not a developer, but this is the kind of like solution I tell the AI about, and he's going to investigate, is it good, is it not good? And I also have my developers I talk to, but and once again, most of my work I do is not with the website, it's mostly with the app. But this is the kind of stuff, like you need to have this creativity and be able to understand what are the different solutions you can bring to fix an issue that an AI may not think of. And this is something I've had a lot of success with, even with my developers who are not, who work a lot and they're developers themselves. They're trying to fix they do data provide, like the data provider in our app. Like this is something actually, this is a good example. So my developers, when they are building our app, and we show a lot of data in the app. If you've opened our app, we have like CoinMarketCap data, CoinGecko data, we have everything in there. And they would be like, hey, we keep hitting the API limit. That is number one. And number two, every time the user opens the app, it's loading. And I'm like, dude, when I open other apps, it doesn't load all the information every time you open it. It's already there. And I told them, look, to save on API keys, why don't we create, and this is something I fully came up with on my own. Like I didn't necessarily research how others do it. I just told them, why don't we have our own private database where we have all the data? We fetch all the data from CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, or whatever. We're paying them right from the API, and all our APIs, we load them on our own servers. And then from our server, we send it to each user, like in their app. And that would make it so we save so much on tokens. It would increase the speed tremendously, and it would fix so many of our issues. And this is like the kind of solution that I came up with like sort of the engineering of how we want to do it, but I would never know how to code it. I would never know how to develop it. But if I now that I have an AI, I can come in, give them the solution and tell them, hey, is this real? Is this similar to what people are doing? This is my theory. And the AI is going to do the research. Sometimes like, hey, this is exactly what they do. Sometimes going to come back like, hey, you're close, but usually what they do is this or that. And being able to have this like sort of deductive reasoning to understand or to sort of have theories of how things can work on the back end is the skill you need to utilize AI to its full capacity. And this is how I'm utilizing it. But anyways, going back to the main topic, which is the developers. As a first-time founder, one of the issue is we were trying to hire cheap developers because we had low resources, and it created so many issues. The website was horrible, and the thing is, it cost us so much more in the end because then we had to hire better developers, and those developers came in and they're like, "Dude, I'm gonna keep it straight with you. We have to basically scrap everything you've done so far, and we need to start over." And it was horrible. And that's why, like, when we launched initially from the mobile app, like we had such a big wait where we had multiple months before we were able to launch the app on App Store and Play Store. Like we were in beta for so long because we were literally rebuilding the full product, and we took a full year to build it, and then we had to rebuild it entirely. And I'm gonna say until now, like the impact of having bad developers when we started, it still hurts. Like until now, we still pay the price for it. And until now, whenever we deliver a feature, it takes more time. And like right now, for example, we spent some like maybe 2 months now where we've been constantly just doing self audits, fixing and optimizing the code instead of working on the new features. If we initially hired good developers, we never would have had to do all of these self-optimization of the app and constantly improving the app. Instead, the app would already be good and we would already have the cards live. So really, we shot ourselves in the foot when we decided not to hire good developers when we started, when we decided to cheapen out. And I'm gonna even say, I don't know, you want to say something here, I feel like.
Well, I was going to say, this is a great point. I want to step back a little bit because you said, one of the keys is being creative and innovative, right? And
Yeah,
that's you. With AI tooling, this is the era, this is the age of idea guys.
yeah,
You're an idea guy, bro. You're an
yeah,
idea guy. And so this is really cool because now this is going to be super powerful to you. And it is okay as a founder or a first-time business owner or whatever it is to admit your mistakes. Let's talk about Chad Barraford for a second. He is 42 years old or something like that.
yeah,
He is just a world-class engineer on many levels, and he says it all the time. He says, I don't know. Well, sometimes talking about it is okay not to know. It
yeah,
is okay to admit your mistakes, right? It's the people who do not have the ability to be honest and to address like mistakes or to say, I don't know. That is a superpower to be able to do that, right? To
yeah,
be honest with yourself, and it humanizes you and makes you refreshing, man. That's why I really like you, and I know the audience really likes you too, is because you come off as genuine. You're genuinely trying to do something very difficult, right?
yeah,
To bridge the gap between this crypto economics that we have and the traditional fiat one, right? You
yeah,
are like meeting everything in the middle. That is such a powerful thing to do. That is such an incredible product market fit. So yeah, I think what people look for is they don't really care if you make mistakes. They just care that you keep going and you
mhm,
never give up and you keep trying, which is exactly what you're doing, man.
yeah.
So shout out to you, brother. You're
Thank you,
doing
man.
great.
I mean, there's a
Yeah.
couple of points to say here. I mean, number one, and this is really a side note, it's like the about being genuine and just trying to do the best and being able to say I don't know or whatever. And this is something I noticed. And I'm gonna tell a little about me. I have a very hard time keeping corporate jobs. Whenever I work corporate jobs, it always goes
Yeah.
very badly very quickly. And you're laughing, I think, is because you know why it goes
I
bad.
know why. Yeah, go
Dude,
ahead.
I mean there's so much ego involved in these workplaces. And that is number one. Number two, if you work too good or you're too focused on just doing the right job, it does work. There's a lot of politics involved with corporate work. And it's not about being right. It's about doing the right thing to them. And it's like, I really can't keep it. Like I tried, by the way. And there is a point in my life where I was genuinely like unhappy with myself. I'm like, why can't I ever like keep these corporate job for a very long time? And the answer is, because I go there and they want me to, for example, lie or pretend that something is true when it's not. Or I do my job. I do my job the best as I can. And I swear, I've never had a job I worked with where the older employees who were there for a very long time, they would see me work and they didn't like that I was pushing or trying to do everything perfectly right. Like, for example, there's a certain rules you have to follow to, let's say you're selling phones, right? And there's a certain rule you have to follow when you replace a phone or whatever, because they have a warranty, whatever, something like that. They're going to skip some steps to make it faster or to secure a sale. I would do it perfectly the right way and I would still secure the sale, for example. And they would look at me and they wouldn't like it. Oh, he's doing too much. And you would think, and I really thought at first when I heard people talk about things like that, that they were just talking about it. It's just podcast bros talk, right? It's not like you work in these places, and it's horrible. Even like the managers, you would think the managers will prefer someone who does the better work or who increases sales or whatever. Not at all. They prefer someone who's going to make their job easier and who's going to make them look good. And if you step on their toes by being too good, or not even by being too good, just because you are right about something, they're wrong, you have a good idea or propose to them, and it goes against what they're trying to build, or maybe your idea would make them look bad. Why didn't they think about it? Or your idea would make it so another solution they provided for something else you don't even know about is no longer valid. It doesn't matter. They're gonna not be happy with you stepping on their toes. They're gonna kick you out. They're gonna fire you. Why? You were just not a cultural fit. And
Right.
it's such a toxic environment. These corporate jobs, they're so horrible. And I have family and friends who work in these corporate jobs, and they tell me about their stories. Like they're like, I work and my manager took credit for my work and I can't do anything. Or for example, this is a story from someone close to me who was like, I told in their corporate job, they're like, hey, I told them I had like this appointment later that day. And my manager came in and they knew 1 week ahead I had the appointment. The day of the appointment, I also told them. They came in and then they're like, hey, I need you to do this work before the end of the day. And they're like, dude, there's like 2 hours left and you're not having an appointment. And it's a corporate job, mind you. And they're like, hey, I'm going to look bad. You need to make this work. And it's like the manager is the one who came in last minute. It's their fault. But because the employees stood up for themselves and are like, hey, I'm not doing this. I told you I have an important appointment. I can't stay. And then they go home. The manager has to do it themselves. And the manager felt entitled, like, hey, this is like, why do I have to do it? Why? It's a weekend. I'm supposed to be off. They then made a complaint against the employee, and the employee had to basically explain themselves. And even the like HR, who was supposed to be like the HR is not your friend, right? Who's supposed to
Never.
be like the
Never.
friendly guy?
No.
Not at all. They were looking at him, was like, "Do you like your job?" And it's like, what kind of fucking question is that? Are you crazy? This gets really under my skin because it's like passive aggressive, and I can't deal with it. When someone is passive aggressive, I am very upfront. I'm like, I usually tell them like, I really can't hold it in. I'm like, fuck off. Are you trying to like
Yeah.
threaten me?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. I'm about to be on the streets. I'm that petty. I'm not taking shit from anyone. And also is the behavior. I'm not taking shit from anyone. I respect myself. And because I respect myself, I want others to respect me. And this is also behavior that doesn't work in corporate job, because in corporate jobs, you need to kiss ass, and you need to kiss ass a lot. And if you don't kiss ass, they know it and they're not happy about it. But anyways, it was like this whole like discussion where HR was like, so like, do you like your job? Well, you need to be a team player. And it's like, eh, this is not what team playing is. Anyways, man, it's such it really gets under my skin. I mean, we're getting sidetracked from BiorLabs, but
No,
this,
see, this is why you are a founder,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I know corporate jobs, they do not reward guys like you because middle management, lower management, they
yes.
view you as a threat. They view
Oh
you as
yeah.
a threat, and people who have been at corporate jobs have been there for a long time. Typically, they're comfortable in their position. Someone comes in who's energetic, dynamic, innovative, thinking, creative. They don't want any of that. They just want the same old, same old. They want, clock in, clock
Mhm.
out. They want what's comfortable to them. When something tries to shake up the paradigm, the status quo, they don't like that. And so
Yeah.
this is why you're a founder, man. You're just
Yeah.
like, well, F it. I'm gonna do my own thing and let's LFG. And this is why people like you are gonna be successful. And again, this is the era of the idea guys.
Yeah.
Idea guys are going to win. So I got something to tell you, brother. So I know we've been talking about the card for a little bit. You have a swapping service as well, right? You
Yeah.
you offer cross-chain swaps, right? So people can do that within the app, right? Which is
Yeah.
really cool. Something I don't know if you heard about this, man. Chad is working on a revenue share model. right?
Yeah.
So you already charge an affiliate fee.
Yeah.
So definitely reach out because what we're trying to do now is have agreements with integrators that
Mhm.
if you bring more revenue to THORChain, we will kick you back an additional percentage of the protocol revenue
That's
as
really
well, man.
cool. That is really cool. Okay,
Yes.
look, for Beer Swap right now, it's built using Rango and SwapKit. And unlike other white label products, we're not embarrassed to say it. And the reason
Yeah.
is because Beer Swap is not our like flagship product. It's just a side product for our users who want to support us. You want to use our
Sure.
product, we get a fee. And also we don't overcharge. You're gonna get the same fee if you come on BeerSwap than if you go directly on THORSwap or Rango. So it's all the same for the user, but they get to support us. So this is number one. And of course, in the future, the main idea here is when we get big enough, we want to build our own infrastructure. And something like what you said is definitely what we're looking for. But by the way, because I'm the kind of person who, when I'm asked questions, I like to answer them fully. And for the first time founder questions, we didn't like we finished talking about the development part, but there was
Yeah.
still the marketing and the scamming part, right? I
Go
would
for it,
like to
man.
go over them really quickly. So for the marketing one, the main issues I'm going to say is a lot of these marketing agencies, and this is really the thing that I learned: stop hiring marketing agencies, stop hiring these teams that are already built. Okay, because when they come in, they have their team, they have their workflow. It is like you don't get to set the dynamic. There's going to be like a period where there's going to be boundary issues because you need to understand how they work. They're going to understand how to meet your standards. I personally, I've learned it just doesn't work. It is better to hire your own team and to build your own team, hire your own members, and usually they become more aligned. They're people who believe in your product. Meanwhile, their agency, their goal is just to maximize how many clients they have. So really build your own teams. Stop hiring agencies for marketing. And this is something, I mean, I knew the whole time, and we would, and it's crazy because you know it. I know, oh, we shouldn't hire agency, but then there's the small team. They talk to us. They look like they're a good team. We hire them, and this is not in reference to because recently we worked with an agency that works with THORChain. I'm not talking about them. They were really great. We had good work with them. I loved their work, so I'm really not talking about them because they're part of the THORChain group. And I just want to make that clear because some people may know work with them. I'm really not talking about them. I don't know if they're docs. Do you know if they're docs? Because I want to give them some credit here. I'm not hearing you.
Oh, I apologize. Did you ask me a question?
Yeah, I
I
was
didn't see
saying, do
that.
you know if the Um, okay, never mind. Because I don't want to dox someone who's not doxed. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if they're
Don't.
doxed, but
Yeah.
they're part of the THORChain group. They run some of the marketing for THORChain. We worked with them. They do great work.
Oh,
So I'm not talking about them. But I said just in general, like when we worked with agencies before that, what would happen is we would hire the agency. They would have their workflow, and it wouldn't necessarily match. All right. And
right.
oh yeah, and what I was gonna say is they come in and they have this really good pitch. They sell you on it. You start working with them, and then you're like, you're working with an agency. You should hire your own team. And even some of the best agencies I've worked with, and there's an agency called Ascensum. They're really great. I mean, those guys, they came in. We were gonna launch in like 7 days. We had no marketing, nothing going. They came in, they hit the ground, they got it running, and we had a successful launch because of them. Great guys, amazing marketing. They're really, really good. And I don't think I've ever worked with a team as strong as them ever since
Hmm.
with Ascensum. Okay. They were really impressive. Um, but no matter how good they were, it's not the same as having your own team. I really think this is something first time founders need to look at is having an agency can be very useful short term and it can help you short term. And sometimes it's like really worth the price. Like Essentium, the price was so good and they took really good care of us and I loved their
Right.
work, right? Even with the, what they're called, Lemur Labs, that's their name. Lemur Labs, they also gave us a really good price. And during a time where I could not take care of the marketing, we were all very busy with the product. They came in and they just took care of that for us. And it
Yeah.
was great. But once again, working with an agency is not the same as having your own team. And I would really tell to any first time founder, try having your own team, try building your, hiring your own members. So that would be for the marketing.
This is so true. I all I can say is like, we have we do have a new member to the team, Randy, and he is a friend of Chad Barefoot. He knows THORChain, right? I do these podcasts obviously with people like you. I know the ecosystem. We went just to a conference in
Yeah.
Las Vegas, and I gotta tell you, man, like it was just unbelievably great. It was just dynamic. Everyone's so engaged. When you have someone who is intimate about your product,
Yeah.
that is irreplaceable. You
Yep.
cannot off-source that. you cannot offsource that, right? And that's what's so awesome with Randy coming on, because he's known about THORChain for years. And it's just, it's irreplaceable. That passion, that it's sort of like it's like almost you can romanticize your product
Yeah.
because you understand it on such a deep and personal level,
Hmm.
that it comes off as genuine instead of like, like a kid reading off a script, you know what I mean? For a
Yeah.
play, you're just like, okay, you're reading a script right now, right? It's
Yeah.
what it's, and it's like when you talking about your own product, like you're coming off as very genuine and you're passionate about it, and you're identifying the good parts, maybe the parts you need to improve, blah, 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 blah. You cannot get that with any third party. It has to come
Yep.
from deep within, with being intimately involved in the project with you. So that's
And
100% so
I'm
true.
gonna keep it honest, man, with AI lately, even Claude AI. And I'm gonna even throw in something like I personally bought a Mac Mini. I ordered it. It's gonna be coming. I'm gonna have like OpenClaw, Hermes. I'm gonna have all these AI stuff running with AI. And I'm not saying use AI to write your tweets. That's horrible. I would never recommend that. Do not do that. It is really bad. But just like for the workflow, sorry, because when you use AI for the workflow instead of doing the work, it makes the work so much faster and easier. And you can have such a smaller marketing team than you used to. And the work and impact is that's you're gonna get is so much stronger. And by the way, anyone who looks at what I said, like, oh, it's AI slot, Anthropic, which now has the best AI product in the world. Okay, they surpassed ChatGPT, who had a big head start on them. Their whole marketing team is one guy working with Claude AI. So, I mean, that's one way to sell your product to prove that your product is good. But their whole marketing team is just one guy working with their AI. All right. So nowadays, marketing is not as like hard as you would think it, especially if you know how to work with AI. But number two, it would be very easy for anyone. You can hire one guy, two guys, very passionate about your project, love what you're doing, and they also are intelligent people who know how to think, because it's really about knowing how to think, and then they can think for for the AI model and direct the AI model to do some of the work, or to set up the workflow so that they can do the work. Anyways, that's just a side note. But the last point about the first time founder mistakes would be the scams and the fraud. Now, me personally, I am very, very paranoid from a very young age, and for no specific reason, just like growing up, all the privacy videos were always so interesting to me. And I would follow like these videos and I would go fully anonymous. And I'm like, dude, I'm like 17 and I have nothing going for me. Why am I so anonymous and private? But, it doesn't make sense. But still, I would do it. And one thing I can't overstate enough. And these are things where my co-founder didn't care about the privacy aspect of many things. I did, and it saved us from scams so many times. For example, password managers. I just used KeePass because KeePass, it's the safest thing, man. You have KeePass, it's on a vault, you can have a backup on a USB, you can use a YubiKey in order to unlock it, it's unhackable. And where's my keys, man?
Right. Right.
So there's this, where are they? Sorry. Where's the
You good?
YubiKey? Yeah, here it is. Here. So you see this thing?
Yeah.
This thing, you plug it in your laptop, you click the button, and if it's not in your laptop, you cannot open the password manager. And the reason it's so good is I can just share the file with my co-founder on Telegram, anywhere. I just send him the file and he can unlock it from his side. And it's all the same, and no one can hack it. It's super clean, right? That's one example. But also, the way we set up the API keys, the way for example, when you give access to your work to your developers, a lot of founders, they come in and they're sloppy. They get full access to everything. Dude, like especially if you're in crypto, your developers international, they live in another country. And like, I'm not saying to be there suspicious of everyone, but like, you don't know what's going on in people's lives that can push people to do things that can hurt you a lot. So, and also, by the way, especially in crypto, side note, there's a lot of North Korean developers like sent by North Korean government to infiltrate
Yeah.
crypto startups and to get access to their code and to, set up backdoors. So
We
also
just
there's that.
saw that, right? We just saw a
Yeah.
lot of that going on, man. That's so true. They have very convincing, legitimate fronts, right? Where they look like a
Yes.
professional business. They've got all the things. They put
Yep.
tons of work in this. It's like a month. I think the last one they deposited $1 million, right? They deposited $1 million into a project, then they stole much more of that later. So
Yeah.
they've got a
They're
lot
really
of
good.
resources for an incredible,
I mean, they're backed by their government, of course they are. They're really, really good. And I'm going to say, like, It's like that's one of the other reasons don't buy cheap developers, because a lot of the time those North Korean developers, the way they come in is they're going to offer cheaper rates for more work, and you're just
Hmm.
like, wow, the quality to price ratio is insane, and you're going to go for it. And not only that, but um yeah, they're gonna have these ambiguous. One thing, by the way, just make sure your developers have LinkedIn. If they have LinkedIn, it's because, dude, it's actually crazy. Like North Koreans, their LinkedIn accounts keep getting shut down. So if one of your developers, their LinkedIn account keeps getting shut down, that's a fucking red flag. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah. This is great, man. Thank you to whoever asked that question about Founder. It's really cool insight, man. I love it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a never like that's what life is. It's just you never stop learning, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you, Coke. I forgot. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Um,
And
go
yeah,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, one last apart to these scams. It's like the OTC deals, dude. We keep getting mad. Oh, want to do OTC deals, OTC deals. And it's like some of them are so creative. Sometimes I entertain them just to see like how good they are. And
Yeah.
like I'm impressed. I'm genuinely impressed. Like lately what happened was this guy who texted us to buy some of our token OTC. He texted us on Telegram and then he's like, "Hey, add me on Discord." Or like, why we're all talking on Telegram, whatever. And me and my co-founder, we had a group chat with him, added us on Discord. And then we were talking on Telegram about the deal. And then he was like, "Hey, I want your co-founder to be an escrow." Like, what the fuck? Why would my co-founder be the escrow? Like, that doesn't make sense. We're together. Like, you know what I mean? If I wanted to screw you over, he would screw you over. That doesn't make sense that he's the escrow. Anyways, I found that weird. And we were like, I was like, dude, we're not doing that. You're just wasting time. And then he created another group chat in Discord. And he's like, he texted on Discord. I'm like, are we switching platforms? So immediately I'm very suspicious. I'm someone, once again, I'm very paranoid. So whenever I saw like these friction points that were switching and he's asked for an escrow, I got very suspicious very quickly. But then in the group chat, he said, "Hey, let's do the escrow thing." And I'm like, dude, like there's no need. And then my co-founder texted, he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." I was like, what the fuck? Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. And then he sent like and then he made a transaction and he actually sent, it was like 40,000 USDC dollars to the wallet. I'm like, okay, so this seems legit. He sent a TX, correct date, it was just sent $40,000. I mean, this guy's rich. Anyways, then he sends the address. He's like, hey, okay, now you can send me the BYB. And I was like, I mean, for me, I was just trying to fuck with him because I was bothered that he asked for the escrow. So I'm like, oh, shouldn't I send it to the escrow? Why am I sending it to you? Right? I should
Hmm.
send it to my co-founder. And then my co-founder sent an address and he's like, hey, this is the address. You can send the BYB here. And I'm like, this is not your address. Like I
Yeah.
recognize the address link, like the last couple of letters. I'm like, that's not. And I was sort of inside. I don't know if it's ego, but I was very mad. I'm like, why is he entertaining this bullshit like without consulting me or whatever?
Yeah.
So I went on Telegram to call him, and he's not answering. I'm like, why the hell wouldn't he answer? I go back on Discord. I check the profile. It's a fake profile. Like they
Hmm.
had me going. By the way, like I was not happy. They had me going, and I click on the profile. It's not. It's a fake profile. So like they started the real conversation. And you know what's really smart about what they did? On Discord, initially there was a conversation with my co-founder, and then they created a second group chat, okay, where they recreated the conversation we had in the first group chat with the fake founder account. And then they added me and they deleted the message of them adding me and they deleted the other stuff. And it looked like it was the same. And they removed it from the old group chat. And for some reason, I just didn't see the old group chat. I couldn't find it on Discord. And to me, it just looked like it was the same group chat with my co-founder where I knew it was him. So like it was really well thought out. And I mean, I didn't fall for it, but I looked at it and there was just too many red flags. Whenever there's this, I have to contact, I have to look at it. Um, I always double check, especially when it's like 40,000. I'm like, dude, why are you sending 40,000 in one go? That is super
Yeah.
weird. You should send small amounts. I don't know. There was like too many red flags. So I had to call and check. And yeah, dude, that was like such a creative one. That's honestly like, I'm so impressed by this one. Like they put in so much work, uh, but it didn't work.
Well, here's the thing is that's why you're a smart guy, right? They were counting on the greed element for your brain, your amygdala to kick in, your little emotion generator that,
Yeah.
the endorphins to get going, that serotonin to get produced. Oh, it's $40,000. Oh, and they don't want that. They want your brain to shut off, but you're like, wait a second. You either got that or you don't. You got it,
Yeah.
buddy. So a
Yeah.
lot of people fall for that stuff, man.
I mean,
So good
also,
job.
like you would think, also the thing is, I wasn't happy about doing the OTC deals because I don't like selling BYB. I'm actually
Yeah.
very unhappy about the fact that we have to constantly sell in order to continue. But the thing is, we're not selling on the market. We do OTC deals. But it really it bothers me that our investors hold more BYB than us. Like we have to sell them in order to keep going. And it's like, I want to have more BYB. It's my project. So like at the same time, that 40,000, I wasn't happy about it because for me, it's like, dude, we're gonna lose so much percentage. So I was like, I sort of did not want to do the deal at the same time. So that definitely played an element into it. But yeah. I guess that's it about the founder mistakes, man. Watch out for scams. Be very skeptical
Yeah.
of everything. Do not compromise on your privacy or security in any way, shape, or form. And I mean it. Be like, even your closest employees, like make sure everything is set up. They have, like, make sure to have maybe a business email. The business email has access to the account. The account has like restricted access. And this is all very important. When you fire someone, you never know how they're going to react. You can just delete the email access and then you go in the app, you just remove their email, all done very quickly. Compared to if they have root access, you literally need to audit your whole thing in case they have a backdoor. Maybe you've been on bad terms with them for a couple of weeks, so they set up a backdoor and now you need to worry about that. So really be very skeptical of everything. And this is not just like about being distrustful. It's like just good business practice to have these security measures in place.
I love it, man. I love it, man. This is great stuff. Let's back up a little bit. Let's review what we talked about because we've covered a lot of ground here. You know, we talked about the cards, of course, the virtual, the physical cards.
Yep.
We talked about the swap
Bill
service on
payments.
BiorLabs. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We talked about the bill payment.
Yes, the bill payment. Yep, I was just gonna
We're
say that the
about to
bill.
go on the swapping. Yeah.
Okay, the bill payment. Yes. We didn't. We covered the swapping superficially, I should say.
Yeah.
Oh, I lost my train of thought now. It was all
There's
there.
the
Okay.
like the referral system and stuff. That was the other
Oh,
one.
okay.
And
Let's go.
the last feature that I said was like alpha. We can keep it for the end.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's get into the referral system then. I don't think we touched on
All
that
right.
so much. So
Yeah.
let's go there. So break that down.
Yeah. Okay. So essentially, I think I've shared about it last thing and we shared about how it's going to work. But long story short, and I really want to go over it quickly because I think a lot of the listeners may have already heard me talk about it in length. Essentially, we're going to have a system where you're going to gain points by interacting in the app. You can gain points by trading or by referring people. So it's going to be two systems, referral system and trading system. In both systems, you gain points by referring people or by trading. And the first one, when you refer people, you're going to earn a commission. Well, in commission, you're going to earn points based on your commission. So if you, for example, bring someone in, you're going to earn a percentage of how much of the fees we earn from them. And then if they bring someone else, the person you brought also brings someone, you earn from that. And if that person also brings someone, you earn like 1% of that. So big incentive to bring in people. And then if you hold our NFT, you get like 40% of the commission of what you get. And then if they also hold you hold the token and the NFT, it's 50%, right? So there's a big commission here where you gain in points. And what's important here is once you gain a certain amount of points, and I really do this because it's like a bar like this, once the bar is filled, let's say you have enough points, you can then claim your points into real BYB. But until then, it's only points. And this is to make sure people don't like abuse the system when we give away points where it's like, and they just like spam fake referrals with alt accounts and then they just claim the rewards and leave. And we like, they're basically stealing from us, right? Instead, we have this threshold system where you need to actually be of value, like you need to be valuable to our ecosystem, and then you're going to benefit because you've hit the threshold of how many points you've earned, right? And it's the same thing with trading. The only difference is with trading, you're gonna earn, like if you just trade in the app, you're gonna get better fee. You're gonna get more commission. And by commission, sorry, I mean cashback. Sorry, you're gonna earn better cashback just by trading in the app. The more volume you give us, the more cashback you get. Okay, so it's like tiers of depending on how much you trade, right? And then we have on the same tier for the cashback. Sorry for the. Let me rephrase that. On the same cashback system for trading, we have a whole thing where if you hold tokens, you're going to earn a bigger cashback, right? So if you hold more tokens and you trade a lot, that's where you have the highest cashback. And it can go up to 50%. So in total, both together, like there's a way to make a lot of money if like from our app, like you will make a lot of money from it. Like essentially we built a product and you can make money from it directly. So this is one good reason to hold the token is you buy the token, you buy the NFT, and essentially, well, the NFT is going to be given away, by the way. We're not going to sell it, but
Hmm.
you have the token, you have the NFT, and then you literally just start making money, right? I mean, how many projects can tell you with our token or NFT you can start making money? This is one thing that's really good. And the thing is, and this is basically the system we are building here. Now, the NFT is not live, but the referral system and the way we track the referrals, that was something I wanted to make sure we get right. I want to make sure if someone uses your link, you get the referral no matter what, and that the referral is persistent. There is no bug where you lose the referral, and that the referral lasts for a full year. That is very, very important. So that's what we've been working on. This is supposedly built from my developer. I say supposedly because we need to test it. Um, and my developer told me it's built, so now we're going to start testing it. So our referral system is done. The invite, sorry, that was the invite referral. That's one thing. The trading system is also done. We're going to have to start testing it. And yeah, also once it passes the test, the next step is going to be to integrate the tier system with the token and the NFT. And then we test it again, and then we're going to be able to go live. So we're doing good progress on that front. And I think it's one of the elements I want to have live before we start doing like the heavy marketing, because thus far we're just doing like we're just tweeting every day,
Right.
and we're keeping like some general marketing going, guerrilla marketing, but we're not spending really.
Question on the point system. Now, just speak so the audience understands. Do
Yeah.
you get points for every specific action you take, or is this mostly to do with the referral system? Like if you
Yeah.
do out a gift card, go ahead.
So there's going to be in the reward page, if you look at the page, it's going to have two sections. Number one is going to be trading, and number two is going to be referrals. And the trading, you're going to gain point for any swap you do inside the app. And then in the referral, you're going to gain points for any person you refer. Now, this is where things get really cool. And I briefly mentioned it earlier. Our newest card provider that we're talking with, they allow us to have these, to offer special cards with special rates and with cashback and stuff. So this is something we're thinking about. And in the future, we can do a point system with the cards where you gain points when you use the cards, right? So we're going to calculate how much we've been using the cards. We give you
Right.
points, and then these points can be redeemed into BYB, and it can be a form of cashback. And this is something that's really interesting that we're looking at. And this is one way where you can gain points. So let's say you're trading in the app, you gain a little bit of points. You do some referrals, you gain more points, and then you do use the card, you gain more points. And now you hit the full threshold, and then you gain, let's say, $100 in BYB. And by the way, the points are like very generous. People are going to make a lot because we're giving our cut to the user basically. And the idea here is the founding team, the way we're going to make our money is not from the swapping or from the like directly from the card fees you're going to spend, or from the sorry, what was the third one? I mean the invites, right?
Point.
The
Yeah.
way
Okay.
it's going to work is that most of the money we're going to make, number one, is going to be from the integrations, because I spoke to a lot of wallets and founders, and they would tell me the biggest revenue source for them is all of these big protocols that come in and they're like, hey, you have, let's say, 100,000 users. Please integrate our protocol into your app. This is 100 users that are going to use our app guaranteed. Because let's say someone wants to swap, right? They're inside our app. Let's say we have 100,000 users. They want to swap. They have our app. They're going to swap. They don't care who the provider is behind the scenes. So if you're a new cross-chain provider, you want us to add you because that's going to guarantee revenue for you. And these guys pay heavy grants, from what I understand. Like they pay 100,000, 200,000. They pay a lot of money just to be listed in our apps. And a lot of times they pay monthly fees. So this is like one of the biggest revenue sources that I wasn't aware of when I started building. I thought it would be based on the swap fees and the card fees that we were going to make the money. But that is number one.
I love
Number,
it, man.
yeah.
Go ahead. Continue.
Number two, it's gonna be from the platinum cards and metal cards. So metal cards, apparently there's a big market for it. And I spoke with the card providers. They told me there's a very big market for it, and they've shown me the numbers. A lot of people are willing to spend a lot on those metal cards. So this is something we can do with special rates where we can do metal cards. And these premium cards, we can charge extra on them because they're like a luxury item, sort of, and luxury items, luxury price. So there's some money to be made there. And third and foremost, it's also from all the fees. Like if you calculate it all, the maximum amount of commission you can extract is up to 90%, like commission, referral, all of it together, 90%. So there's always that last 10% that's going to be reserved for us. And also, like, you have to take into account, not everyone is going to have a referral. Not everyone is going to be holding our token to get a commission. So that's also fees we're going to be making. And yeah, that's basically, I would say those are going to be like the main three. First, like money, how do I call it? Like revenue sources for us. But then later on, also, we want to, we said we're going to rebuild, for example, the swapping aggregator to have our own
Hmm.
fees. We can then sell the API and then we can make money on it. It's sort of like how THORSwap with SwapKit did it, right? They built THORSwap and then with SwapKit, they're selling the API and
Yes.
they make money, right? This is the
Well,
same way.
in terms of swap kit, this is where the deal comes in. Swap kit brings a lot of THORChain to volume. They get that fee revenue share. We kick
Yeah.
more money to swap kit, right? And this is an offer that's open to everybody. So, I
Yeah.
know you use swap kit, which is great, but if
Yeah.
you guys build your own thing, the same thing would apply to you. So
Well, we
that'd be
can
also
talk about
another revenue.
SwapKit and see if this is something we can directly have right now to support THORChain. But otherwise, yeah, in the future, once we have like the full app developed, we do
Yeah.
want to build some sort of aggregator. And also, I'm once again from the perspective of I don't want to necessarily compete with SwapKit and Ringo. I think they are great products. I would love for them to keep getting better. Instead, I want to build something that complements them. Like the best case scenario is like if we have our app, this is what I really would like, right? This like ideally, this is what I would want. I would want to build a service that would amplify Rango and SwapKit in these ways. Number one, a lot of times, let's say you don't have fees on the recipient network. This is something we can solve for. Number one, in our, let's say, edition, we built something on top of them that solves for this. Number two, certain routes don't have, they're just not available. Like, for example, SwapKit and Rango both, they support Solana and they support Ethereum. And for some reason, certain token sources, they don't work. So we would be adding our specific liquidity sources on top of it. But we would build like our own. We don't want to just like glue things together. I would want to have like a clear infrastructure build where we can add these pools and it would properly work with them. And then, of course, we can have our own preferences where we're like, hey, for these specific routes, we're going to use this liquidity source instead of whatever Rango or Swap could propose. And another thing is it would be a lot faster because right now when you just put SwapKit, Rango, there's a big loading time where the aggregator has to look at both prices, compare, pick one for you.
Right. Yeah.
Takes a lot of time. So we would do something where we would be able to quickly route a lot faster or provide the source faster. In any case, I think there's a lot of ground to be covered and how to improve for both of these services, and we don't need to necessarily compete with them in a
No.
unfriendly manner.
An important thing though to consider though is you need a redundancy at the very least, right? Like it's
Yeah.
important to not have all your eggs in one basket,
Yep.
just have lots of things. And I know for the Monero integration on THORChain, there are some API aggregators that might wait a little bit. They're not going to
Oh
support
yeah.
Monero right away because of the regulatory clarity, which I
Yes.
understand they're a legal entity. But like THORKit, for example, on THORChain, we're going to have it available right away. It's
Yeah.
like
I mean, for
ASAP.
us, it's gonna be the same. By the way, I don't think we're
Yeah,
gonna be able to support it as soon as it's live because of the
of
legal.
course.
We need legal clarity if we just go with it.
Yeah,
And a
I
lot
get
of
it, man.
us, we don't like we live in countries that are heavily regulated, so we can't just
Yeah.
do whatever. Um, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
something to look at.
Yeah, it's something that's just gonna take time to figure out, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah, and I totally understand. So, yeah, I love it, man. You're making a lot of good decisions in that regard. Okay, so we talked about the referral system, the point system. Very cool
Yeah.
idea, and I'm really excited. I mean, first off, obviously you're gonna release your app. You're just gonna get a solid product working, and then you're gonna dial it in to
Yeah.
be really cool in many different directions, which is just freaking. You want an all-in-one experience, right?
Yeah.
This is what you want, and
Exactly.
that's exactly. So get the base strong, and then you just kind of like tendril, like spider web out, and cover everything.
Yeah.
Very smart. I love it, man.
But
And I
also one thing that is very important that we've been encountering is we keep adding features and features, and it's like, dude, some of our features we added a while ago, they have these bugs. And at a certain point, and this is what happened recently because of the old code that I mentioned that was bad, we had to stop, fix everything. And some of the investors are not happy because they're like, hey, it's too slow. And I'm like, dude, listen, I promise you, you do not want us to have an app with cards when the swapping is not fully functional yet, and when the swapping sometimes says no route available when there is a route, because this is
right.
lost money, and this is also bad user experience. When we have the cards, we want to have like this, like giant app, not giant app. How do I call it? Like this Goliath, it's like very strong app that is
Yes.
ready for users.
Well, the market will forgive you for being late,
Yeah,
but they will not forgive you for being wrong,
yeah,
right?
that's for
And
sure.
so this is what it is, right? So it's better to get everything dialed in first. There's other teams like this is what Mocha had the same thing. They wait. They were supposed to launch a while ago, dude. Like it just happens when you hit that same time. You look at like, okay, wait a minute, let's dial all this in. It's very complex what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
So that's the right call. You know, your investors, I understand that's pressure, but
Yeah.
you wanting to make an experience that is just clean,
Mhm.
streamlined, and works well. And then the network effects goes from there, right? Because if you
Yeah.
start run off the gate and like it's a horse's race and the horse has a broken leg, falls over and dies, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, the race is over,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
right? Yeah. Okay, so we talked about the points, the referral
Yeah.
system.
Even
What's
revenue
next, my friend?
sources.
What's that?
We can just even the revenue sources, we went over it. I mean,
Oh
we
yeah.
covered a lot of ground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. This is a lot to cover. So
Yeah. I
so
mean, beer
we're
swap, we quickly we can go over it. I
yeah,
mean, one
so
thing with beer swap is we have a separate developer working on it. Okay. And the thing with BeerSwap is this developer that is working on BeerSwap, he's not working on our app. He's a senior dev and he has his own like product he's building, which is like you can do swaps with AI. And this is the interesting part because BeerSwap, I mean, it's a little boring for maybe the audience members because everyone here is familiar with THORSwap and all like Mocha Swap, all of the current interfaces. You go on their website, connect wallet and swap. A little boring, whatever. So what we're looking at, of course, number one, like I said, this is just a platform we want to have out there for the future so that in the future we can expand it. For now, we just want it live. But what is really interesting is that my developer showed me this feature he has, and he showed me live testing where he did swaps. He tell the AI, hey, swap BTC to ETH. The AI would fetch the routes, pick the best route, and then be like, hey, I can swap it for this rate. Is this okay with you? And then he would say yes or no. And the thing is, it is so simple because you would think it's like you need to train the you literally just give the like you plug the API with the AI and you make it work. Sorry. It's very simple because it's the same system as the swap, except you like in reality, the only thing you're doing is the backend is the same. You're just modifying the front end. That's it. So the user experience is the only thing you're touching here, the user interface. Instead of the user clicking on the token and stuff, he's texting it. The AI is going to select it for him. Like the AI has our swap panel. He's just selecting the information and that's it. But in reality, it's the same thing. And then the user just clicks on sign and it's done. And it's something that's really cool. And I'm thinking the UI I want to present, I don't like the way they do it, where it's like most apps usually do it with AI. It's like this little thing on the bottom right, click it and it's open and it's separate from the app. Instead, I'm thinking, you know where you see the swap panel?
yes.
On top, it's going to be like try AI, and then the swap panel would disappear and it would instead be a chat next to the chart. And on the
Oh.
chart and the chat, and you would talk to it about it. So this is kind of cool. Um, and it's interesting because we actually recently disabled our AI in our mobile app because we want to improve it with the customer service because I noticed it has some issues and we want to run it ourselves. Right now, it's running on some server. We want to run it on our own server. So, anyways, this is some advancement on the AI stuff that can be coming to the mobile app later. And yeah, it's really cool. I mean, our team loves to experiment with these AI products.
I love it, man. Yeah, that's probably the way the future's gonna be where
Yeah,
people don't as technology improves, people want to do less and less, right?
yeah,
And clicking, needless thinking, communication for humans really easy where they look at an AI and say, hey, I want to make a swap. I want to swap one BTC to Ethereum or whatever, right?
yeah,
And then the AI just prompts them, okay, blah, 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 blah. Does this look good? And you just say yes. You don't, you can do everything just in a very simple, like it's very interactive, right?
yeah.
Where like I think that's probably the way to go, actually. So
Look,
I
everyone
like it.
wants to be Iron Man and have Jarvis, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Hey,
Jarvis.
do
Yes.
this for
Is,
me.
is it called?
Do that.
Is it called Your Brain? Is that what the AI is called?
Yeah,
Your
I want to
Brain?
rename it. I don't like it too much.
Yeah.
I mean, look, here's the idea. Beer Brain is supposed to be we're thinking of because we're gonna have the NFT and we're gonna have the cards. And we had a couple of names and we're like wrestling with which ones to use for which. So we have the Cortex. We could be Cortex cards or Cortex AI. And it's sort of like Cortex makes you think of brain. I don't know why. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that.
Yeah. Prefrontal cortex. Yes.
Yeah,
That's what it is. Yep.
exactly. And then you have the Bior Brain, which is initially that's what we thought we could name it. And there was the last name I forgot about. This is actually the official name we picked for the NFT collection, and it was actually the best one. We're gonna keep it, but I totally forgot. It's fine. We'll have it announced when it's there. But Yeah, we're a little bit playing with the names yet. It's not like we haven't decided yet. But I'm looking towards Cortex AI. I kind of like it, but I feel like it's too similar. Like it feels too bland with how current AI names are done. Like I want something original. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's your AI model, right? So
Yeah.
it's one that you're
Well, hold
custom.
on. It's not
You're
our model. We're
Well,
using
I'm
this.
sorry. It's a
Yeah.
you are training it to do a function, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that's what I meant. I apologize. I don't know. My gut says you should just, you know, Bior AI or Bior. I like the name just like Bior, just so it it
Like Apple,
promotes.
you know, where it's like iPad,
Yeah,
yeah, we
I
could do that.
if it makes your brand, no, that I could be wrong, but this is like if it has your brand name like that,
Yeah.
then you just get someone your brand name in someone's brain an additional moment,
Yeah.
additional time, right? Which is I think is powerful.
Yeah, that's
Because
true. That's
people
actually
may
very
say
true.
cortex because when I say cortex, I don't know what's going on
You're
necessarily, right?
right.
Like I'm on the site, but like, oh, is this a third party? Is this blah blah blah? But if it
Okay, yeah.
has Bior or something, then I just, oh, this is what this is,
Yeah, that's
right?
very
Like,
true, actually, yeah.
yeah, that's what my gut says. I could be wrong. I'm not an
No,
expert necessarily in
I like
marketing,
this
but
idea. It's actually very true.
yeah,
We could look
yeah,
at Beer Brain, but the thing is, dude, fine-tuning an AI model actually is very, very expensive.
yes,
And, like, the first iterations of the app is just gonna be an AI. Like, for example, we're gonna take these open source AIs, and we're gonna have some like scripts and MD files and instructions to make it work properly instead of having like a full fine tuning. Because fine tuning, dude, people think you can just fine tune, like anyone can just fine tune locally. Dude, you need some heavy servers. It costs a lot of money. And also, fine tuning is very hard. Like you can destroy a model because you're basically modifying the data set of the AI, right? And changing anything, like if you add too much, for example, the AI is going to forget some of its earlier data training set, or it's going to put less weight on it. And you don't know how if you're not too good at it, the AI, the way it's going to weight different things. So, for example, you're going to tell it something, and I'm sure anyone who uses AI a lot experienced this. You're going to tell the AI, for example, hey, I don't know, don't use M dashes, right? I never use M dashes because this is AI stuff. And then anytime you ask anything, he's not going to put M dashes. That's good. But then later, when you're like, hey, write me this prompt for another model I'm going to use, and then you're going to see in there no M dashes. And I'm like, dude, are you okay? Like, I'm not asking
right,
for a marketing text. Why are you adding no M dashes in the instruction for the other AI? Now, of course, it's you. It's like, it doesn't really matter, right? But it's these things that stay persistent, and it can be detrimental to the model eventually if it something that's important. Because right now, I give us an example of something stupid, but in practice, it can be something important. And I'm sure in the early versions of ChatGPT and Claude, everyone experienced this so many
yeah,
times where you give an instruction, and for some reason, the model becomes so persistent with the first information that he entirely forgets the first set, sorry, for the latest information, that he
right.
totally forgets the first set of instructions. So fine tuning is its own thing, man.
Yeah, I know. But it just seemed like this AI, phenomenon is the iterations are just incredible, and
Yeah.
the rate of improvement is quite extraordinary. I mean, I've heard about Mythos or Mythos, however you say
Yeah.
it, and all these different AI tools. That's probably why a lot of these DeFi hacks are happening recently, is because one of these things is out in the wild and people are
But
just throwing it against every code base out there
yeah.
looking for anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say people are saying, "Oh, there's more hacks because developers are using Claude." It's like, dude, I'm pretty sure developers using Claude makes code stronger.
Yes.
Instead, I think it's because hackers are also using AI. That's why.
Yes.
I think that's the real issue here. But by the way, just a like completely out of topic thing, I've heard so many people be like, "Dude, I think the AI thing is gonna hit a ceiling. There's not enough energy. There's not enough electricity." And it's like, dude, when something is this big and there is so much demand for it, supply is going to be created. And what I mean is there's already existing solutions, and something that's very controversial for no reason. Like I actually don't mind getting political about this, is nuclear energy.
Yeah.
Nuclear energy is like so strong, and
Hmm.
it is like it's green and it works. And because of the stronghold that the petroleum, I don't know how to call them, but like the petro superpower has on the world, where everything is on oil, right? I mean, they're a fucking mafia. They control everything. They are lobbying hard to make sure that oil stays the standard, right? And then you have all of these other green companies that sell solar panels and wind turbines or
Yeah.
like, the electricity cars, for example, that run on electricity, but it doesn't run on, I mean, those actually can be good. It can work with nuclear, so scrap that one out. But there's a lot of very big industries that would lose so much money if nuclear came out, specifically because nuclear energy is so cheap. It would make everything so cheap. Because from what I understand, it's like it creates so much energy and
Yeah.
it would cost nothing, right?
Look at Germany. Look what Germany kicked themselves in the balls and then
Yeah,
set their balls on fire. Like, it's
yeah.
unbelievable. They got rid of their nuclear power plants, and now they are
I
suffering.
I can't
on
believe that's a thing.
Well, it's just to your point. This is lobbying groups,
Yep.
special interests. Now they have you with via regulation. They have now created a monopoly, right?
Yeah,
By removing nuclear power. It's because they feed on
yeah,
scientific ignorance. Nuclear power has like literally zero emission. It's water vapor, right?
yeah.
They look at things like Chernobyl and things like that as case, but the nuclear power plants that exist today, they literally are designed to like they cannot melt down. They
Exactly.
cannot melt. The
Yeah,
redundancies are so redundant. Chernobyl was based on very old tech back in the day,
yeah,
right? I mean, like this is a non-issue. But
yeah.
again, to your point, this is what they want, and now
But
now
by the
people are
way,
suffering. Yeah,
guess what? With AI becoming so big and electricity becoming a pain point and
yeah,
energy becoming a pain point, what do you think are these AI companies going to do? These AI companies are becoming very big. A lot of them are now able to buy off politicians. And look, that's not a good thing. They're corrupt. They do bad things. Whatever. I'm not here to say, I mean, I am saying it's bad, right? I hate
yeah,
corrupt politicians. It's the whole reason why we're in crypto, right? To begin with. But we can predict what's going to happen. If you have AI become so big that these AI corporations become powerful and they need cheap energy, what do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to keep using petrol and oil and they're going to allow all of these, they're going to basically, AI companies spend so much money on energy, right? How much more
yep,
profitable would it be for them if they use nuclear instead? So
yep,
I have it's like a theory, right? Like maybe it's going to be in 10 years, maybe in 5 years, but I have this theory that AI is going to be so big eventually and they're going to have no other choice than to start lobbying for nuclear power and nuclear energy to become used instead of oil and solar and all these other forms because nuclear would be the only sustainable one for them. And this is like my theory. I haven't heard anyone talk about this before. I came up with it. So this is like, look, if it
yeah.
doesn't happen, no one's gonna remember it, but if it does, I'm gonna look like a genius. I really wanna put it
we're
out
gonna
there.
we're gonna bookmark this part of this
Yeah,
thing.
I wanna put it
Yes.
out there.
Absolutely, man. You're gonna be the sage, right? You are gonna be
Yeah,
the prophet of nuclear power. I love it. Yeah,
yeah,
no, 100%. Well, like I say this all the time. I experienced this in real life, because I did get involved in politics myself. Our politicians do not run the show. It's the lobbying firms. It's the mega
yeah,
corporations. They literally write the legislation. They write the legislation, not the people you elect, and they vote as they're told. They are owned.
yeah,
They are puppets. They are on
yeah.
strings, and that's what they do. So you are 100% correct, sir.
Dude, some of
That
these
if
corporations literally go out and say, "Yeah, we did this," and it's like, how can you publicly admit that as a
because
corporation
they
you
have
did
so
this
much
crazy?
control. They have
Yeah,
so much control. They do not care. We are at the end stage, unfortunately, of society in some ways where these
yeah,
people are so comfortable. They are so confident of their own power that they will openly and mockingly admit it. It's
yeah,
pathological. When you're a sociopath, psychopath, that you get
yeah,
perverse pleasure from doing it. You like to wave it in
yeah.
people's faces. It's an egotistical
It's
yeah,
like the
it's like a
corporate thing
form
we
of
talked about, right? Like they're full of themselves.
yes. It's a very dark form of narcissism, and it's very perverse. And these are the people that run the show. But with tools that you're building, the crypto in general, we're trying to fix that system, that incentive structure that
Yep.
rewards corruption. It's got to end, right? So I'm looking forward to these days, man. I
Yeah.
love it.
But yeah, and I think honestly, the AI stuff is they're interesting. I'm just curious. Like we've seen so many crypto projects try to integrate AI. Most of them vaporware. I'm just gonna keep it honest. I don't want to give any names because they have very strong communities, and I'm not trying to pick a fight.
No, dude,
But
it's true. It's
yeah, a lot
solutions
of
looking
these,
for a problem, right?
yeah,
It's just
literally, dude, they create solutions for problems that don't exist. But what I'm really interested in is, and this is really what I'm looking forward to. Imagine if we have this AI model that can keep growing and it builds itself and so on, but it's a decentralized model that lives on the internet. So it's like this AI that just lives on the internet and it runs the same way as blockchain does. different people connect to it. Sorry, like different people run the nodes and they have an incentive. Maybe it's crypto based, maybe not even, maybe it just uses blockchain technology. But it's a decentralized network. Everyone in the world runs it. So it's an AI that is uncensored, can't be shut down, and it has some utility. I don't have any specific like idea about the utility has to be, but I know about what it can be. And it can be like a lot of stuff from validating data, um, providing information, doing work, but it's very also it's a little dystopian. It's like this AI model that cannot be shut down. So it's definitely a little dystopian, but I feel like uh, there has to be something interesting we can do with that. Like it's an interesting idea that is I feel like unexplored, and we've seen projects try to create that, but it's been such a like it doesn't live up to the idea. Like it's not even close, right?
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting how it all develops, right? I mean, it's happening before our eyes. I mean, what an interesting time to be alive. I mean,
Yeah.
it's truly incredible. So okay, we talked about the AI. Well, we talked about a lot. We talked about the swapping function. We talked about referral. We
Yep.
talked about the cards. The cards, I'm so excited for, man. What else is coming? Hey, we talked about APK. What else you got for us? I want to make sure we save the alpha for the last, but if it's alpha time, go ahead. But
Yeah. Well,
is there something
actually,
else?
swapping xStocks is now live in the app. This is something that wasn't live like next time, last
Oh,
time, and I just realized I did not do my pull request on the website that updated the roadmap. Like I changed the code to show that it's done, but I did not do the pull request. I'll have to do it later because I'm looking at the roadmap. It's not updated. But anyways, xStocks is live. You can now trade xStocks in the app.
okay. What are X stocks? Let break that down for someone who's never heard that before.
Yes, sir. xStocks. So, um, traditional stocks like Tesla, Meta, whatever, traditional stocks that are tokenized in crypto. So you know how stablecoins work. Stablecoins are pegged one to one to the US dollar. On the other hand, X stocks are very similar to a stablecoin, except instead of being pegged to the US dollar, they're pegged to the stock. Now, these are not decentralized uh, tokenized stocks. So it's not in the same way that it wouldn't be a decentralized stablecoin, meaning there's a central entity that will buy the stocks when you buy. So you buy one X stock, they buy one of the real stock, right? And that's how they do it, and they keep the peg that way. And it's important to mention it, very important, because that means they can freeze your assets anytime it's a centralized group. They can freeze your assets. Unfortunately, when it comes to stocks, unlike stablecoins, I don't think it will ever be viable to have decentralized xStocks, mainly unless we have some crazy shit with AI happen. But
Hmm.
this could actually be one of the use cases, right? But anyways, because xStocks specifically, it's a moving asset, an asset that moves in price. And the problem would be if it's decentralized is that the price would never be able to keep its peg because people in the like on the crypto side where it's open 24/7 would be able to sell and buy outside of market hours. And I mean
Right.
I can't honestly, I don't know if I can put it properly into words, sorry, the technicality, but decentralized xstocks would always have like a big gap, a big spread with the real price compared to stable coins. They can be more reliable to keep a smaller spread with the real price. So yeah,
Yeah, they would have
just
to
keep that in mind. So it's
open the
really cool.
market to everybody all the time, right? Because you're right, because accredited investors, they can trade 30 minutes before, the bell rings,
Yep.
right? On the stock exchange. And so that would cause a discrepancy between the peg. Yeah, that's a really interesting point. I think this goes to your point, or they need to just embrace an open 24-hour market. The accredited investor
Yeah,
is
by
a
the way, did you know, like, because I do a lot of research because on our Twitter, since lately we've been mostly doing like audits and, upgrading the code base, we don't have a lot to tweet about. And I'm like, dude, we need to post about something. So I researched interesting fact and I started this series called Did You Know? And one of the things I found out, which I don't think I even posted about it because I was like, I don't think it's going to get engagement. But one of the things that I found out was the NASDAQ and, I think it's the New York. The Nasdaq is the New York Stock Exchange. Is that the Nasdaq? Whatever.
yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah,
I haven't
they.
thought about this in a long time, but I think you're right.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. I think that's it. Anyways, the New York Stock Exchange is thinking. They're looking at open. They're not looking. They said that they were actively building some tokenized stock for the Nasdaq, so that people can trade outside of the open hours. And it's crazy because their whole like their whole like revenue model is the bell. The bell opens, the bell closes. They make that. That's how they make their money. But
Right.
they're literally moving to crypto, and they're gonna have markets open 24/7 on chain. Uh, it's not live yet, but there was like big media, like press media. Is that how you call it?
Yeah.
Press. Is it press? I don't know. There was a lot of press about it, but it went totally under the radar. It was fully underreported. No one talked about it, and those are like the kind of things I research to try to tweet about and bring attention to them. But yeah, that was an interesting one. Um,
I suspect shenanigans with that because, right, that's how they make their money. I wonder if whatever, I don't know what this blockchain is going to look like, but I would imagine it's going to be horrendously
or I'm
centralized. And
thinking it would be they would just launch it on existing blockchains, but they would have their own token like
right,
USDT, right?
right. And they would probably, if you traded these tokenized stocks outside of market hours, I wonder if they would charge an additional
Tax,
fee to do that. Yes,
that would be
exactly.
interesting, right?
Because that's, they, yeah, because that was always the key for accredited investors is the market closes and then time happens and information can
Yeah,
happen between market close and market open, and these accredited investors have essentially an advantage being able to front run the rest of the market by trading or selling
yeah,
early, right?
yeah.
So I can't imagine they're going to do some shenanigans. I'll wait to see. I mean,
Yeah.
these people they're not interested in a free and fair open market system. They're
Oh
just
yeah,
not. So
oh yeah. They're not. That's not their goal, man.
no, no, no.
Their
They
goal
don't
is how
want.
to make more money. But by
That
the
is
way,
right.
I just remembered there was a point I wanted to mention earlier when we were talking about regulation and how governments crack down on crypto. And then I said about how what we are building, BiorLabs, we were talking about how it benefits people who are in war-torn countries, how it benefits people who are, let's just say, taking revenue in crypto or salaries in crypto, or maybe people who live in tyrannical countries. And I just remembered something I wanted to mention is that even if you're someone who's like, oh, I'm very like, what is it called? Patriotic. I support the US dollar. This is like the dollar of our country. We need it to be strong. Like, look, no comments, whatever. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But look, regardless, crypto is the best thing to happen to the US dollar. It really is. And people, a lot of people don't realize it. Crypto is the best thing that could have ever happened to the US dollar because the US dollar has been losing um, its influence on oil. It's been losing its influence on many different things, and it's losing
Mhm.
its popularity and how other countries are using it to sell transactions. And this has to do a lot with the foreign policy of the United States of America for whatever reason. I don't care too much. Leave me out of it. I don't want trouble. But in crypto specifically, stable coins, the most used stable coins are the USD stable coins because they're the most stable. People from all around the world, I'm talking Canada, Europe, um, Africa, Southern Latin America, Europe, Asia, wherever, all around the world, they use USD stablecoins instead of using.
Mhm.
By the way, it exists. There is the Euro stablecoin. There is the China stablecoin. There is even Canadian stablecoin. Or there are so many stablecoins of every single country. Everyone uses the USD one. Why? Because it's more stable. And also, you gain an advantage. I don't care where you live. If you live in, let's say, Argentina and you're holding USDT, that's literally like a saving account. I'm not even, it's literally a savings account for you because of how high the inflation is. Or in Venezuela, same thing. USDT is just a savings account for you. It is so beneficial. So, in that way, these like stable coins is, I think it's going to save the US dollar in many ways. And, we're seeing right now the American government sort of starting to recognize that, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's actually true." At first, they were hostile against it because, like, "Oh, it's a competition to the U.S. dollar," and now they're realizing, "Wait a second, it's actually not competition. It's gonna make the U.S. dollar stronger because everyone is using USD." And as a result, now all the different countries in the world are competing to make their own stable coins that are going to work. I
Right.
mean, why do you think Europe cares about having their stable coin? I mean, yes, all the surveillance stuff, but like, why do they even bother? It's because they see that the euro is being used less and on chain. What's the
Right.
valuation? I posted about it just yesterday, actually. Did you see my tweet on the BiorLabs account?
I'll check it out right now. I did not see it. Let me look it up right now. Fees. We are live.
No, below it. It's
Below
about
it
the
right there.
same.
Here. Yeah, I'll bring it up right now. Give me 1 second. BiorLabs share. Right there. This one
Yeah.
right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is another thing. No one is talking about this. This is part of like Did You Know, the series I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
And USDT is over $100 billion. That's their market cap. And this is crazy because the market cap of USDT is bigger than multiple countries' annual GDP. Um, I mean, how much value do you think this brings to the US dollar compared to,
Tons.
yeah, tons.
Tons.
So like, this is beneficial to uh, you know, to the USD. So even if you're someone who's like, oh, I support the US dollar and crypto is bad because it's against our country's interests, if like really that's your thing, regardless, crypto is to your benefit. Like crypto is good for anyone who is genuine with themselves and anyone who wants the world to be a better place, no matter what your ideology is, no matter what you support, crypto is going to be a good solution for you.
What's funny about this is that it's actually really healthy game theory because, if the United States wants the dollar to stay relevant,
Yeah.
which the dollar has been killing me lately because of inflation, obviously. But if they want to stay relevant, best be friendly, best keep, being supportive and allowing people to
Yeah.
innovate and develop online. Like, because the most welcoming fiat currency is the one that's probably going to win, right? Or at
Oh,
least
yeah.
last the longest before they're ultimately replaced by, exogenous assets that are not pegged
Yeah.
to any government,
Yeah.
right?
By the way,
So,
did you ever see there's like this stable coin? I forgot its name. I think it's called Rye or something. Let me look it up.
die?
No, not Die. Okay, so there is this. Wait, I'm not on CoinGecko. I'm looking on X. What is wrong? Let me go on CoinGecko just to pull it up. I want to make sure I have the correct one. So there is this new stable coin I saw because I was doing some research on decentralized stable coins as part of the posts I wanted to make.
Mm-hmm.
And I found something interesting. I really can't pull it up. Man, do I have it saved? I'm sure I have it saved somewhere. Okay, I'm not even logged in. All right, I'm gonna just Google it real quick because I want to give
Yeah.
a name.
Yeah, that's a decentralized stablecoins are a very interesting topic. I've had
Uh,
some
here,
thoughts on that recently.
hold on. Let me use Google so their
Yeah.
AI just gives me the answer because we're live.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Man, what is wrong with this? Okay, I'm just gonna start talking about it, and I'll figure out the token later. So
Yeah.
essentially, this is a stablecoin that came out, and they're not pegged to any specific currency. Instead, it is a stablecoin that keeps a stable value, but it's not pegged to anything and is decentralized. And I didn't have the time to fully check out the tech behind it, but it's such an interesting concept where it's like they're telling you, look, this token is not pegged to the USD or whatever. It's just a token that is supposed to be stable over time. So if it's stable over time, that means it's supposed to go up. Okay, it's called Rye. I was right. Okay. I just couldn't find it on CoinGecko.
Right?
Yeah, Rye. I said air because in French it's anyways. RAI.
Right.
For
Okay.
some reason, it's not on CoinGecko. Let me just look it up somewhere else. Reflex Labs. Hold up. Riot token. Okay, it's on CoinMarketCap. Um, I can share you the link if you need it.
Dang, my thing's all messed up here.
Right token reflects up. Yeah, so it says it's a non-pegged stablecoin. It aims to be stable in its volatility, not pegged to a specific price. So market demand increases the price too high, the protocol lowers the target price to incentivize supply. And if the price is too low, the target price is raised to incentivize buying. So it works in the same way as are you familiar with like the Cardano decentralized stablecoin? I forgot
Not
its
really, no.
Okay. So this is one that I actually studied, so I can explain it to you. They have this stablecoin where it's like, it's a lending protocol, the way it works, and you can mint or, well, sorry, not lending. Let's rephrase. It's a mint or burn, similar to Terra, but they fixed it in the sense that the protocol is always over 800. Okay. And the mint and burn deactivates and reactivates depending on the price in order to keep the stablecoin stable. Okay. So you would be incentivized to mint tokens when you need to lower the price. And then when you mint them, you can sell them at market price because minting them is cheaper than the market. So you would mint them and then sell them at market price. And then when it's time to bring the price back up, you would want to buy them on the market, and then you can burn them and get better price because it's with Cardano. So for example, the price is a little bit high, so they want to, sorry, no, the price is a little bit too low. That's the example I want to give. Let's say the price is too low. So because their reserves are 800% filled, like over 800%, the price, let's say they want to bring it up, they would say, look, if you burn your token with us, we're going to give you more Cardano than you would get by buying it on the market.
Right.
So instead of, and of course, when you want to mint, you would put Cardano, and then mint. If you want to burn, you would burn with Cardano. And the thing is, they're building their stablecoin across many chains. So I know they expanded. I was talking with them a long time ago because before building BiorVault, I wanted to make a decentralized stablecoin. So I did a lot of research into that. But anyways, this is the way they built it. And from what I
Mm-hmm.
understand, the way Rye works is that instead of it being, it's the same system, mint and burn, except instead of it being pegged to the $1 and they decide when you need to burn or mint, if it's above or below $1, it's just based on the price of the token. If the price of the token goes up too much, it tries to lowers it. If it goes down too much, it tries to bring it higher. Something like that. I'm sure there's a lot more to it. This is just
Mm-hmm.
surface level, but I thought maybe you knew about it. I was curious about your opinion on that.
Dude, when it comes to Thor, I am so locked in the THORChain. I barely have any time to look elsewhere. I'm the worst at that, man. Because like, just community management, talking to people, figuring
Yeah,
out the latest, like BiorLabs. Like, dude,
there's a
I don't
lot.
have enough. I don't have enough bandwidth, man. I just can't
Yeah.
keep up with everything else. It's impossible.
Dude,
But
decentralized stablecoin are like they have to be part of what we're building at some point. And it's actually the alpha. We're partnering with a decentralized stablecoin provider.
I'm curious. I think here's the thing with decentralized stablecoins is because I think stablecoin is kind of a misnomer because they're not stable because you're losing so much purchasing power to
Yeah.
inflation. So it's hard to develop something that is so at the whim of a centralized like the US dollar, for example. Like
Yeah.
there may come a day where because we're $40 trillion in debt, absolutely ludicrous amounts of money we're in debt, stupid, like game's up, jig is up, the US may decide just to print as much money as fast as possible to buy as much Bitcoin as possible, right? Like this is a theory that people have. Like
I don't think
the
it's ever
first
gonna happen.
company who prints fiat to buy Bitcoin wins or whatever. Who knows, right? But it's really hard because it's just like fiat currency is just getting so weak and losing so much purchasing power.
Yeah.
Like how do you develop a system around that you can like make actually decentralized it's really hard, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
with the lending protocols and oracles, and they try to maintain a stable price, I guess. But what's really interesting here is, and we so basically there's this new project. They're building a decentralized stablecoin. They have like around 15,000 users. And right now, they just have like a website. The user interface and experience is not even that good, but they have 15,000 users. And we're talking with them, and they're interested in having us like try to be like their flagship mobile app, where it's like you use their stablecoin, download our app because you're going to be able to use a stablecoin, mint and burn. And one of the things, and that's where we started the talking, like where what we started talking about is that our messaging feature will allow people to request and send each other money. Like, for example, I have your crypto address. I can request money. In our app, you're going to see the request. You just click approve, it sends it over. So it's like really cool user interface. Once
Yeah.
again, I mean, in the back end, it's just a send feature, right? It's just that we autofill the information for you because someone sent a JSON request, and then we take that, fill it in for you when you press accept and send the funds. It's really that simple. So, um, oh yeah, and the messaging, of course, we're using. So there's this project. I actually wanted to present them to you. They're called QuickSync. Okay, and they
Quick
have
sync.
QuickSync. You're not gonna find it if you Google it because it's a common name. But they have
Okay.
like, unless if you type QuickSync crypto, maybe you're gonna find it. But they have two really cool things you should look into. Number one is the messaging and file sharing, where you can share files and messaging, and it's completely anonymous. It's completely like no it's completely encrypted, no data storage, nothing. And we're going to use their system in order to build our messaging system, so it's going to be fully anonymous. It's actually going to be more anonymous than any other app you could use. Why? Because we literally don't collect data, and the protocol we are using is literally a like a decent, I don't know if it's decentralized, but it's an on-chain protocol. It's a crypto project, and it's supposed to be anonymous. You can look into it. That is what we're building with. I actually use it for file sharing. Just a side note, they have like this feature where you upload a file on on their website, you share the link to someone with a code, and then that person goes on link, puts the code, they download it, and then it deletes itself from the internet forever. It's like a really good way to share stuff. Anyways, side note aside, the reason I wanted to bring it up to you is because we've been using their product called QuickSync, which is a podcast platform. You go on it, you go live, and here's why it's really cool. There's a couple of things. Number one, live, there's a chart of the token, let's say THORChain, and there's buy and sell, and you can directly buy and sell during the live. Okay. Currently, it's mainly compatible, I think, with Uniswap is stuff. But dude, if you partner them with THORChain, it would be cool. And they also accept tips, like you can tip in crypto. That's also really, really cool. And they're crypto founders. I mean, I spoke to their founder. We did a couple of AMAs together. They're very, very aligned with what we're building, what THORChain is building. So that could be very interesting. And also, here's why it's really cool. People can jump in and they can anonymously send messages. And there's like this live chat feed, right? And people can upvote and downvote messages. So like, it's like very interactive, engaging. So you could look at it, but we're working with them right now for
I like
the,
it. Coke, look it up.
uh,
Let me know if that's something we could definitely do something. And if they're offering crypto services, maybe they want to have some
uh,
swap abilities too. I mean, there's maybe something there. So
that's
absolutely.
actually really good because they offer you can, their thing is that you can swap the token live. So that would be interesting. Like if they bring in like Bitcoin podcasts and it's like buy Bitcoin and it shows USDT to Bitcoin or whatever using THORChain.
Coke
That
is
could be
on it.
something.
That's what I love to hear.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Dude, thanks. I love that because there's so many cool things going on. I reached out because, we just got back from the Bitcoin conference. There's
Yeah.
a lot of cool teams and I've been running around like a lunatic. And like I said earlier in the thing, I'm really looking forward to you being like something like, Bitcoin is so expensive. So I'm hoping you guys are just absolutely just giga chads then and just killing it with the money you can. Because, dude, like some of these booths are like six figures. It's absolutely
Holy
insane.
shit. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And you're not even guaranteed to get a speaking spot. Like, that's freaking
Yeah.
nuts, bro. But,
But
dude,
also
there's an
like
in there. Go
uh,
ahead.
one thing to look out for, I was told to be careful because some of these events are being surveilled and targeted, like by two different groups of people. Number one, by government entities or government groups. They look at whoever is present there, take notes, they put you on a watch list, and then they're like, hey, this person was at their event. And if they suspect you of having a lot of money, they may like come after you. Is he
Yeah.
paying his taxes? They might just fuck with you and do a lot of like look after your business. Is there anything we can sue them for? They're just looking for trouble. And then outside of government entities, and by the way, I'm not like, this is not like conspiracy theory. This is real. Like, I know,
Oh, I
I've
know.
spoken with founders who
I
have gotten in
very
trouble
well.
because of that. And they're telling me, dude, I'm telling you, it's because I went to these conferences. I know that's where they found me or whatever. So this is number one. And number two is well, just scammers and bad actors who go there. They're like anyone who holds crypto, and then they try to find them and, you know,
Wrench
make
attack.
that threaten
Yeah.
them. Yeah, send me
Yeah.
money. Wrench attack. That's actually the perfect name for those things. It's because of the meme, right? Where it's like, uh,
I know. I never saw the meme. I just $5
oh,
wrench attack is what I heard. And it
oh my
just kind of
god, dude,
stuck my
it's
brain.
so funny. When I saw it the first time, I laughed so hard. It was so funny. So it's I found it in the first time I saw it, it was in the when I was doing research in privacy, and they were telling me, look, they were teaching us something about the it's called, what is it called? Man, I have a problem with names, but it's called like s- it's like you need to make sure that what you're protecting against is what you're protecting against in the sense that if you're threat model, there you go, threat
Okay.
model. They were teaching people about threat model, and they were like, look, the threat model is very important. If your threat model, meaning the people you want to protect against are criminals, then this is what you want to use. If the people you want to protect against are government entities or corporates, this is what you want. This is how you would protect yourself. But it's very important to know the difference because if you, for example, are like, oh, I have this very big encryption, and like your threat, I mean, you need to make sure that, okay, this means that my threat model is digital attacks, because what about a
Right.
physical attack? This is not part of your threat model. So threat models are very, very important when building security and privacy. And anyways, it's very important. And during the text, it was actually a book, right? It wasn't a video. I just remembered it was in a book. And then there was this animation that was like, here's the best example. And it was a $5 wrench. And it wasn't even called $5 wrench attack. It was just showing two shows. And it was like your expectations and reality. And then
Right.
expectations, it was like, uh, you know, it was two guys, right? One of them was telling the other one, I'm gonna try all of these encryption methods. Sorry, all of these decryption methods, and they're gonna try to hack in. And the other one is looking at him. He's like, "Man, I can't believe it. He's using like the AEC or whatever encryption method. I can't believe we're never gonna be able to get into it. Our plan is foiled. It's useless, right?" And it's like expectations, right? And then in reality, the guy is just two guys. One of them is holding the computer. He's like, he's using some advanced decryption method. Here's this $5 wrench. Go beat him up with it until he gives you the information. And I looked at, dude, this is so true. I mean, you would think you would make the mistake of thinking I have the best security, but in reality, it's like they don't need $1 billion computer to hack your thing. They just need a $5 wrench, and that's why it's called the $5 wrench attack, because they buy a wrench for $5, and it's just to show how stupid it is that you would think they need billions to hack you. They don't. They need $5 to get the information out of you. So
It's why
that's
it
the
is why we
backstory behind it.
It's why THORChain is not KYC, and it's why you want to be as minimally KYC as you can as a legal entity. Sorry for the background noise, big truck going by my house, guys. But KYC is dangerous, right? Your identity being tied to your money being fully auditable for anyone in the world is insane. Someone can't do that with your bank account. You can buy things at a store and they don't know. So yeah, absolutely. To your
I
point.
actually sent you the cartoon on Telegram right now if you want to see it
Okay, check it out.
for future
Yep.
reference when you want to share it.
Yeah, that's so true. I don't know how I share Telegram. Um,
I mean,
yeah,
you can
so
just open the image on your in a new window or something,
yeah, I'll do
or
that
save
here.
out whatever sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. Well, Matt, so we talked about, a lot of different stuff here. Is there something else that you wanted to say, or is this or did you want to have any reveal you want to the audience, or the floor is yours, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, I think we went over everything. I mean, one of the things we spoke about lastly was the stablecoin, decentralized stablecoin partnership. So it's we met with this team, and it's very interesting. I mean, everything is still in talk, and the reason I say it's alpha because it's not like we didn't sign any papers yet, but things are looking very promising. And yeah, you got it. uh, things are looking very promising. And the initial feature is going to be you're going to be able to request and receive and, send funds with the, that's decentralized stablecoin. And then we want to allow people to mint and burn. And it's so interesting. I mean, I always wanted to have my own decentralized stablecoin where I built it, but hey, if someone else is going to do it, we're going
Yeah,
to support them. And I'd say that is like, it's not even on the roadmap. It came out of nowhere where we had a discussion with them, like, dude, that would be great. And now we're adding it on the roadmap. So it's something we're going to be working on. It's like the next thing we're going to work on. And the thing is, once the messaging feature is done, it's going to be very easy to add the token and everything. So it's not even going to take that long of an integration. So I'm looking forward. I didn't reveal the name yet, once again, because it's not like anything
hmm
official yet. But it is alpha. We're in talks with them. Things are looking really good. And it's like integrating THORChain, right? We're talking with THORChain. We're going to integrate THORChain. Why would THORChain say no? It's a decentralized protocol. We just integrate
yeah.
it. So that's why I'm willing to talk about it, even though nothing is official, because it's like a decentralized product that anyone can integrate, really.
Yeah, I love what you guys are doing. I mean, I keep saying it again and again and again. The reason why blockchain technology has not gotten mass adoption yet is because the utility is not there. It's too niche. It's this the
Yeah.
nuance is too strong. The friction is too great. We need to give people an ability to take their crypto assets and use them in the real world. Self custody is great. Be your own bank. These are be your own bank. Excuse me. These are beautiful, elegant narratives.
Yep.
But if you can't do anything as your own bank, then well, what's the point of the bank? You know what I mean?
I do
So
think the next like place we need to fight on is App Store, Play Store, because like it's all good. Like, okay,
yes,
you have a website where you have decentralized swaps. Swap, Uniswap, although they don't have any licenses, they don't need licenses. They're just on the internet. People go there, they swap. Okay.
right.
When you're a mobile wallet, you get harassed by the app store. You have this
Mhm.
license, that license. And for some reason, there's all sorts of regulation if it's a mobile app that don't make sense, that are they're trying to fit in. So I think the Google Play Store is not it's such a non-issue because not only is Google Play Store open and they don't care about anything, but also at the same time, you can just upload your APK file like we're doing. So it's really that simple.
Yeah.
But for Apple, it's a closed ecosystem. So like it's its own thing, it's its own challenge. I feel like you know what happened in Europe? Usually I'm like whatever happens in Europe when they regulate businesses, I'm like, dude, it's bad. But dude, sometimes they do good stuff. Like this Apple thing where they forced Apple to open their ecosystem so people can download apps from outside of the App Store. That was really good. Um unfortunately, it's not worldwide, but I do think like we have to do something in crypto where it's like we fight against the App Store in some way because, yeah, this can be the downfall for Apple. I'm reading a comment, by the way. I don't. It should
Yeah,
appear on
yeah.
the live, right? Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah.
does. Yep. Hmm.
Okay. It could be the downfall of Apple. Like they're really, really problematic with crypto products, with crypto projects. But the thing is, man, Apple loyalists are fucking crazy. I'll never understand. They're really crazy. Like you talk to them, and there's no mind behind it. And it's gonna be the same people. Oh, I hate the government. I hate corporations. Stop being a bootlicker. And those same people, where Apple is the best. Oh my god, you use this fucking, I don't know, open source phone or whatever. Look at you, I have Apple.
Yeah.
It's like, are you okay, brother?
Yeah. Yeah,
you,
I agree.
there's
I agree.
no,
Yeah, and this
yeah,
is it. You know, the friction. I mean, the App Store. Well, people are building really innovative technologies, and that friction that the Apple Store is will definitely hurt them in the long run if they keep it that
yeah.
way. You know, innovators, especially the AI tools, is idea guys like you. They need to have low friction, just launch things, and you know,
Dude,
the experience you have will never be forgotten. Right?
I
So,
I actually spoke with my developers. I'm like, dude, before my live stream, let's push an update before this live stream. And we
yeah,
pushed the update on Google Play Store, the APK file, and then App Store. They blocked our update and they're like, hey, we noticed that you're in Switzerland, this and that region. Where are the licenses? And I'm like, guys, this is the third time because, and I'm telling you, this is the third time they bother us for the regions. And what happens every time we share with them all the licenses of our partners, okay? And once we share those licenses, they're like, okay, it's all good. Or sometimes like we need to get on a call and then we get on a call. I have to talk with an Apple representative. They're like, hey, what about these regions? I explained this license, that license. They're like, okay, but you need to remove this one. They made us remove India. They made us remove the UK. And I'm like, okay, whatever. We'll remove them just to approve our app. They approved our app. And this happened like 3 times. And like the last couple of times, they're not even asking us to change anything. They're just calling us and we explain it to them like, oh, okay, we're going to approve the app. It's approved. And again, now they're stopping our app. They're like, what about these regions? We already told you about them last time. What's going on? And we have to explain ourselves every time. And just for you to understand how stupid it is, the same app, everything is exactly the same corporation, everything rejected by App Store. If you integrate an on and off ramp, okay, you can use their licenses, give them to Apple, and Apple is going to let you on the App Store. Why? Because they're like you're partnering with a license provider. Their license is as an on and off ramp. It doesn't even have anything to do with swap. It doesn't matter. Like, and this is evidence that what they're doing is not even for real regulations. It's just like this stupid friction that they're adding to pretend like they're doing something, but they're not really doing anything. And I'm sure that wouldn't even fly if like there was like this big lawsuit that maybe they're afraid of. It wouldn't even help them because they're clearly accepting licenses for on and off ramp, and then they allow people to do the swaps if that's really what they're trying to do. And the thing
yeah,
is, at first I thought it was like a loophole, but then I talked to them, and it's not a loophole. They actively tell you need if you have like an on and off ramp partner or something, you give us their license, we let you in. At first, I thought it was like the secret, and you're supposed to not be too obvious with it. Nope. You literally just tell them we have this on and off ramp. This is their licenses, and they're going to tell you, okay, you're allowed on the App Store. So like, they're not even protecting anything. They're not even doing anything meaningful. It's really just friction for friction.
yeah.
It's a stupid system.
It is a stupid system. But you know, you're going, you know, you're grinding through it, and that's
Yeah,
good because you guys are going to be aptly positioned.
yeah.
Because
We're
people
at,
who want to build something like you're already miles ahead by doing all this nonsense, right?
yeah.
One thing we did talk about, you know, again, these cards are coming out. I want to make sure it's clear for the audience. You know, we got to have a moment where people know the cards are not here, but they are coming soon. So, could you give us a possible time frame? I know that's risky to do.
Oh, dude.
I know, but you know, you can.
PTSD.
I know, I know.
You give a
Like
date
give
and
me
then
like a
you don't
quarter.
meet
You can
it.
do like a quarter, like quarterly, like within
Look,
Q2,
I'm
Q3.
gonna give time. I always prefer to work with time frames because they're more flexible instead of giving Q1,
Yes,
Q2, Q3. I like to give a chronological order of things. That makes more sense.
sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we just finished the back end for the cards, and there was a miscommunication where we thought the because I'm talking to the developer, he was like, "Hey, the card is gonna be ready by this week." Turns out it was just the back end. I misunderstood what he meant to say.
right. Yeah,
The back end is ready. Now he's like, we need to do the front end. It's almost done. I just need a couple more days. And what my developer is telling me is by the end of next week, he thinks Well, he thinks he's going to be able to finish both backend, front end. Backend is already done. He's going to be able to finish the front end of the cards, and then we can fully get to testing. And the thing is, in the past, I've told in my holder groups, like, hey, we're in testing and such. It's that we go in and out of testing phase during the building process. Okay. But it's not like we finished the full product. But now we
Yeah.
actually finished the full backend integration. We're going to finish the full front end integration. This is not like we're testing specific aspects of it. Once it's done, then we're going to start doing testing. I'm going to probably have to create my own card, try spending it somewhere. I'm going to try to do the KYC. I'm going to be testing everything. Our team is going to be testing everything. And then uh, once we know it works, we're going to open it for beta. We're going to have it on test flight with some users who really want to try it out. We can probably do something with you guys at River. Well, actually, you guys are not Riverside, with you specifically and
Yeah.
Kenton, if you guys are interested. And one thing I was thinking about is maybe I can do like this series where it's like, what would it take for you to switch? When it's like, I want to make this series where I go with people like you, people like Kenton, and there's also like maybe the founder of Proof Protocol, our incubator, where I'm like, we have them test out the app, test out the card, and I tell them, what would it take for you to make the complete switch twice?
Right.
One, to switch entirely for your crypto needs, like as your main wallet, and two, for your cards, like just to switch from using traditional banks. What would it take for you to make the switch? What is the friction? And then we would do like these lives and we would talk with them and figure out what it is. I think it's like it would be a cool series we can do once the cards are live. And I could have you over in Kenton as well.
It's very powerful having a working product like that where, this is where I'd say, like, when you get this thing going, man, and you just show up and to these people and he's like, hey, like, this is it. Like, you want to buy
Yeah,
things with your Bitcoin? Boom. Or
there you
you go
go.
to whatever asset you can, like, these are real. I think these really small conferences are actually dynamite because they're more intimate.
Yeah,
And you say, hey, you want to buy something with your Litecoin, your Doge, your Ethereum, whatever asset it is. Dude, that it resonates so well because that's what people want, man. They desperately want the two worlds to merge. This is why I
yeah,
really like your product. I think you're onto something. I mean, it's obviously you're onto something, right? So
yeah.
it's really cool, man. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
and it's I'm really happy with the progress we made, although it's been slow for some people. I do think it's impressive because when I it first started as an idea and I would present the white paper, no one would want to fund the project, and they would say a couple of things. Number one, they'd say there's too much. You're trying to do everything. It's not going to work. How can you do everything? And it's like I explained to them, we're not doing everything. THORChain is doing the swapping. This provider is doing the on and off ramp. This provider is doing the cards. Wallet Connect is doing connecting to browsers. Every single day, like we're working with all of these big projects. We put them
Yeah.
all together and we build this app. What we are doing is only the user interface. That's what we're good at. We are really good at building user interfaces and user experience. That's what we work with. Don't you think user experience is important to invest in? And then it's like, well, I could probably build what you're trying to build. And they don't build it, but it's like it's this frustrating loop when we were trying to get raising, and it's like it's good to see that uh up to now 2 years in, I can see they were totally wrong. It's just not true. And one, the user experience is definitely valuable. Not anyone can recreate good user experience. And number two, it's not too much. You can build this product. You can work with all these different projects, put it all together and build the service, especially with so much open source stuff out there. I mean, there's the crypto ecosystem is so open and so friendly to new projects. So
Yeah. Well, you're basically taking all this infrastructure that's being built, and this is the thing. There's just a huge knowledge gap out there. People just still don't, to this day, understand what you can do with DeFi and various
yeah,
primitives. And someone like BiorLabs comes by and just puts it all into a nice, neat package that gives people the ultimate utility, the very ethos that we've been trying to, create from the original white paper from Satoshi, right? And here
yeah,
it
and
is. It's coming.
you know what's funny is even when I present the Slate idea, where it's like where this interface where we put everything together, they're like, "Well, that doesn't seem substantial," and this is really interesting because none of them know what I'm about to tell you. They just don't know it. Banks, that's what they do. What do you think your banking app is? What do you think? Like, name any banking company, okay? All like most of their services, it's not them, it's third party, right? All they do is they are the front end that you put your money with. But everything they do is just so many different partners. You think the same company that like the name brand company to who you're opening your credit account with, they're the ones who handle every part of the transactions, or they're the ones who, no, they don't. Just as an example, Visa and MasterCard, they build the rails for cards, and then every bank works with Visa and MasterCard, and you have a Visa or MasterCard card that is branded with their bank. That is just the first example I can give you. But also, in every other, I mean, depending on what country you live in, bank transfers. You think your bank is going to settle the bank transfer between their bank and another? No, they don't.
Mm-mm.
Or paying your bills, dude. So, like every feature in your bank account that you think the bank is handling, they're not handling it. In reality, all these banking companies, they're building the same thing we're doing. They have this front end full of third parties. They provide it to you, and they make money. And it's like it's clearly a functional business model. It works. It's a real business model. It's been working for years and years. And you know, when you present it to people in crypto, they look at it and they think it's like this. I don't know. They have like this idea of banks that they're supposed to be prestigious, that they do everything or whatever. They don't. What any bank you think of as doing is exactly what we are doing. We're doing the same thing. So it's a proven business model.
Yeah, yeah, and I completely agree, man. And people who are watching this, this is the beginning of some really transformational moment in history. These are the first like interviews, these first podcasts of
Yeah.
this stuff really just starting to get going and taking off. We finally, after just going on 2 decades now of just determination effort, we are now the infrastructure, real economic infrastructure utility is here, and BiorLabs is one of the leading people in this fight, in this delivery. So guys, I'm so excited for this. This is so cool. Bro, we're coming on coming on 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that you wanted? We want to miss anything? Do we want to talk about anything? We've covered a lot of ground here.
There
This
it
has been
is.
really great, man. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, there isn't much else to cover. I mean, if you're uh, I mean, we really went over everything. If anything,
That's
you
good.
could go on the website. We just added a beer swap section. That would be the last thing I could, like, I'm really trying to add everything there is.
Yeah,
That would be the
I'll bring
last
it up.
thing I could mention. But other than that, yeah, we talked about everything. There's nothing else to mention here.
Yeah, I love it. Let's go up here, go to the top here, guys.
You don't need to go to the top. There's at the top, there's the flip. We have two
Yeah,
landing
flip right here.
pages
Yeah, boom. BR swap right here, guys. And see right here, the THORChain right here, and then it switches the
made with
protocol.
AI, by the way.
Yeah, dude, isn't that
Isn't
amazing?
this
You know what
cool?
I mean? That's real. No, it's slick, dude. That's absolutely slick.
Yeah.
I love it. Very cool. So this is what it is, guys, right here. And this is what it looks like when you take all these different technologies, all these different providers, and put it all into one interface. You know what I mean? Got my protocol here. You love to see it. I mean, that's what it's all about. Yep. Avalanche, Polygon, or soon to be, guys. That's coming. It is coming very soon. Love it. Awesome. Um, yeah, man, you guys are onto something good. Just keep going. Like we talked about when someone asks you what it be to be a new founder, man, you just got to keep going. You're building something
Yeah.
very, very cool. Yes. Yeah. So to 3 hours and become the new standard. Hey, these guys are building so many things. That's how long it needs to talk about everything. You know what I mean? All the nuances and
Yeah.
things like that. And sometimes you might be onto something where, hey, how do you see a balance when you give it to a gift for someone, right? So
Yeah.
all kinds of cool things are happening. This is how we I want you guys to be successful. Everyone who's watching this wants you guys to be successful because that just means more adoption. You bring more people into the fold, right? And that helps
Yeah.
literally everyone, THORChain especially, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it
gosh
means a
dang it,
lot,
guys.
especially when you build. A lot of times, sometimes it can feel dull, especially if you're not a developer. You know, if you're not a developer founder like me, I'm not a dev. Sometimes I sit with I just have to sit and be like, I'm waiting on the developers to do some work. What can I do? It's like, and of course, there's always work to do, but at some point, it's like, you just have to sit and wait, and it feels dull. It feels like what you're doing is not necessarily like, it feels like you're not really working. But really, when I go on these, let's say a live stream, or I talk to people, or I go in the whole group and we see people believe in what we're building and they give us support, it really means a lot. It does give, it does mean something.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Well, if there's nothing else there, would you be okay if we wrapped her up?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have a dev meeting actually in 20 minutes. So
Let's go. Perfect. Yeah, let's
yeah,
get you some rest so then you can get right into that
yeah.
meeting, guys. Well, please, guys, please follow BiorLabs on X. This is an amazing team. How else people can reach out to you when you make your quick pitch to the audience here?
Well, Telegram is the number one way. I'm super active on Telegram. However, you would go in my archives, so it's best if you just go in our Telegram group chat. You can talk there, and I'm always around. If my moderator sees anything that he wants me to answer or anything relating to me, he always brings it to me. So there's that. Also, the website soon we're gonna fix the contact us form, and so you're gonna be able to contact us directly from the website too. So you can keep an eye there. Otherwise, on Discord, you would be directly talking to me. If you go on our Discord server, type anything in general. I'm always there because that's where me and the devs work, in like private channels on Discord. So
Yes,
that would be a
and
third
on
place. Yeah.
And on Telegram, his name is at BiorLabs underscore CEO. At BiorLabs underscore CEO, one word. That is him on Telegram, you guys. So please reach out if you are interested in connecting. They're building something quite incredible here, guys. So I'm super
Yeah.
excited. Hassan, thank you, dude. Thank you for doing this with me. And we can do it again. If things get going, you want to come back on
Yeah,
the
yeah, man.
show, we'll do it again. All right?
Look, when the cards are live, and all of these features we just spoke about are live, I think that would be the best time to do the next live stream. I'm gonna try to time it though, because I know we have to get in like 1 month ahead of time to schedule it in. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to make sure with my developers we have it lined up for the next live stream, and we can go over the features, do some live testing. We can buy stuff live. I don't know, we can buy like a Thor hammer live from Amazon,
Dude, I would
something like that.
love. I'll even use the card on my own. We can buy things live on this. This will be absolutely super
We're gonna order
interactive and
food.
super cool. Yeah, order
Yeah,
food, whatever you want. We can buy some gold and silver from Kenton. Well, we could do a lot of
yeah,
things, man. Like I'd
yeah.
love it, dude. So awesome. Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Just a shout out, and remember, guys, if you'd like to become a node operator and need some help, please reach out to at Runetard, all one word, on X. He can help you get set up and find bump fighters. Silly name. The guy is an
Yeah.
absolute legend. For THORChain data and insights, follow at Ray Analytics, all one word, on X. He does written recaps of these podcasts too. And always, guys, remember the views expressed here are solely of the host and guests. Any action taken based on this information is at your own risk. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and we do not condone any illicit activity whatsoever. And with that out of the way, you guys, hope everyone enjoys the rest of your weekend. Thanks again for doing me with this, brother. And I hope everyone has a great day. Bye-bye now.
Take care, man. Thanks for having me, and
Thank you.
have a good one.
You as well, brother. Bye-bye now.
Bye.